Naomi Campbell hits the news again this week. Hits being the operative word. She seems like a nice lady, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's the last Saturday before Halloween. 6-foot teenagers all over the country are demanding treats with menaces. Householders have been stocking up on Alco Pops and crack because they know that that's what they'll be after. They haven't got anything else to look forward to because no one's having sex anymore. Did you hear about this?
No.
Oh, yeah. No one is having sex anymore in this country. By which I mean at all.
I thought the older generation were really into it at the moment.
No, it's very unfashionable.
Oh.
Not only that, but there is a big bonking gap opening up between us and our European neighbours. We're having sex less than the Spanish, less than the Germans, less than the Greek, and the French are so busy at it they didn't even have time to answer the survey. And we've just seen the last light 5 o'clock that we're going to see for a very long time.
Oh, no!
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's depressing,
Isn't that
it?
awful?
I hate it. I really
And
do.
every year there is some story like this. It comes around like clockwork. Every 365 days you could set your clock by it. Hundreds of lives would be saved if the practice of putting the clocks backwards and forwards changed, say council leaders. Normally it's just some bloke with a beard on it. No offence, Alex. It's just some bloke with a beard.
I've only got a little beard. Not a full beard.
Right. Well, what? How more full could it be? I mean, you could get in the Navy with that. No, it's normally some concerned bloke shouting at local television on the news, but now it's the Local Government Association. What's that?
No idea. But what about the poor postmen? They've got to have the light, haven't they? At 6 in the morning.
They don't do it 6 in the morning anymore. Where are you getting your post from?
It's like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
that's true. Oh, well, it's the children, isn't it, going to school, but never mind about them coming home in the dark.
I know, it doesn't make any sense. The Local Government Association, it's another band of pen pushers, like there aren't enough. There's the local government, and now they've got another band of, my mind's gone completely blank. What is it? It's, pen pushers, those types. What are they called?
Civil service.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
all right, civil service. We'll go with that in the absence of anything better. There's another band of them, like they need a body to speak for them, called the Local Government Association, whatever that is. It wants the UK time system to be put forward by an hour to make the roads safer for children and cyclists. This is us down here. Scotland has completely different ideas, and it seems that we have to do what they say, because Scottish people are running the country.
Their hour, presumably, goes at the same time as ours.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But it's
You
just...
worried me then for a minute. Are they not switching with us?
Yeah, no, they do, but it stays lighter, later up there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, by about an hour.
Oh, lucky them.
I know.
But it is colder.
And wetter.
Yeah.
The LGA of England and Wales wants a 3-year trial of the single-double summertime clock arrangement. This calls after the... they're going back at 2 this morning. I'm so glad they're not going back at 1. Because I'd finish at 1, and then suddenly it'd be
I
12
double-checked
again.
it and
Yeah.
triple-checked it.
They previously received backing from MPs and a variety of road safety groups, but others claim it would be more dangerous for children in Scotland. Which doesn't make any sense at all. Either they're going to go to school in the dark, or they're going to come back in the dark. One of the two. A spokeswoman, Hazel, said councils are committed to helping people get safely through their day. Are they? Really? Is that what they're committed to? It doesn't seem that that's what they spend most of their time doing. Most of their time they're dreaming up, stunning wheezes in order to fine us more money for doing
If we just
something or other.
changed the time, though, of the schools, wouldn't that work? If they went to school a little bit later, had a shorter lunch break, and left early?
You know, there was a study done in the States where they also start at a similarly early time.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
child wants to be up at that time of day, particularly teenagers, because their clocks just can't do it. Why does a teenager stay in bed until midday if they are, given their head? It's because their bodies are busy growing. They don't want to get up. They can't physically get up. That's the reason why. It's because there's all these changes going on inside them. So what they did was they They changed the working day to start not at 7:30 or 8 or whatever outrageous time it is now. They started at 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they just shifted the whole day later. With the result that exam grades went up, truancy went down, people flicked fewer spit bombs, whatever it is kids do these days, chuck knives at each other, I suppose, shoot each
Shot
other,
each
yeah,
other.
shoot each other in the break time, yeah. And it always improved, beyond measure, just as they predicted it would be. And then, the results came in and they went back to doing just what they did before, and kids can't learn at that time of the day because they're busy rubbing the sleep out of their eyes.
But is it not important to instill some
God,
sort
here we
of
go, the
formality?
The word instill there.
Well-
Pay attention, everybody.
But when you're younger, if you start to pick up routine, then it will follow through with you, won't it, for the rest of your life? Which is surely a good thing, because once you're working, you've got to get used to either getting up early or getting up late or whatever it is. So routine is a good
You just
idea.
sunk your whole argument, getting up early.
Well, because I
or
then
getting
thought
up
about us
late.
working in radio, which
Yes.
kind of blows my...
And then there's flexi time and, all sorts of great things you can do, you can look forward to in your working life.
But
Kids.
most people, when they start out, will have to start probably on an early daytime start, won't they?
Right. Well, better to do that once they've, finished growing.
Really?
Well, yeah, think of how your parents, when do they get up? Like 4 o'clock in the morning, right? They're sleeping in their chairs at 8 at night, and they're up with the birds.
With their mouths open.
And they're up with the birds.
No,
not sure that your
my
parents-
parents aren't actually. They go to bed really late and get up late.
Right.
But we've always done that, so... But I know a lot of parents do go to bed much earlier.
I think the older you get, the earlier you rise. When you're young, like, you're 14, when I was 14, you'd need heavy lifting equipment, a JCB digger to get me out of bed at 8 o'clock in the morning.
It does hurt,
You're up
doesn't it?
bright and early for BBC Breakfast News.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the shouting in the morning that wakes me up, yeah. The evening rush hour, apparently, is the most dangerous time for road users. Really? The evening rush hour, why would that be? I'm more awake in the evening than I am at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
But that's-
Twilight time, isn't it?
I'm
Yeah,
much
but-
more like, well, yeah, but it's twilight in the morning.
But you haven't worked all in the daytime. You're busy having your porridge and having a kip and...
No, but I would be much more likely to drive off the road and into a tree in the early morning when I'm still trying to wake up than in the evening when I'm, freshly
But you'd have
awoken.
done... But the idea being, if you've done a long, hard day in the office, you wouldn't really be concentrating when you're driving home.
Right, you might well be right. I've never done a long, hard day in the office, so I've got no idea what that's like.
Lucky you.
Yeah. The increased exposure to road traffic, together with tired drivers, can lead to serious consequences, she said. I don't think that she knows what she's talking about. There's been widespread support for this change from different organisations over the years, and also much opposition. Well, no, there is widespread support, and the opposition is always from the same people. Scottish people. Scottish members of Parliament. They raise a finger of objection and say, oh, they say. It's exactly how they say it as well.
Say a lot, then.
Mrs. Harding added that in the height of summer, the sun rises at 4 o'clock BST, which is a nightmare, isn't it? Because there's a period when because the sun doesn't seem to rise or set gradually. The changes don't seem to happen gradually. It's almost as though a comet has hit us off our, celestial route, and suddenly it's much earlier or much later. Am I right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. And so when the sun starts getting much earlier when it rises, then I start rising with it, and 4:30 every morning. Bing! My eyes are open.
Really? You need to get a blackout blind.
Awful. Yeah, I just wear a t-shirt over my face.
Can't you buy one of those patches?
Patches. Yes.
Like a little pirate in bed.
But this is actually a really good idea, because what they're suggesting is that instead of going back, we actually go forward. We keep British summertime, which is 1 hour ahead of GMT.
Yeah, and then go again.
And then
another
go...
hour.
yeah, exactly. And
I'd
so
like that.
in the summer... there's a peak in about July when it's still light at almost 10 o'clock.
And then it would be 11 o'clock.
Yes, that's right.
No,
And
we'd go back an hour then, though, presumably.
No, in the summertime we would be 2 hours ahead of GMT.
Yeah.
And 1 hour ahead in the winter. So it would be double summer.
But if we switch 2 hours, presumably we'd come back an hour ready for the summer. Else it would just get crazy if it's still light at kind of 11:30 at night. Lovely, but,
Yeah.
but mad.
Wouldn't that be great? Matching the daylight hours more closely with our living patterns would give us a greater opportunity to enjoy ourselves, she says. You remember enjoying yourselves, don't you? Last October, however, the Scottish National Party said any change in policy would put more Scottish children at risk as they travel to school. What rubbish. They tabled a motion at Holyrood backing the current daylight saving time system, and apparently we must all follow along, bowing our heads, eating our porridge. And that's exactly how they speak, in my mind.
Christmas is...
Hello, boys.
Robin Hood is not doing very well, which is no surprise to anyone who's actually seen Robin Hood. Did you watch that programme? It's one of two giant shows that the BBC have lined up for us this autumn, and they both stink out loud. And the other one's Torchwood. I tried both. I tried Torchwood more than I tried Robin Hood. Robin Hood I gave about 5 minutes. I thought, this looks like the auditions for a boy band. This is awful. Plus it's got Keith Allen in it, which is, you know, alarm bells should be ringing in your mind. Instantly you see that name on anything. BBC's Hood is on the slide. Robin Hood's men are not so merry after ITV robbed them of even more viewers. And what are they robbing them of viewers with? X Factor.
Your favourite show.
Well, it's yeah. You know what? It's on series record. You know, on my personal video recorder.
Right.
So once you've hit at the beginning of the series, then you don't need to do it anymore.
Okay, so you'll be watching it.
So
it
will be ready for me when I get home. But I hate myself for watching it now. Like
but
I really do. It's almost trying to wean yourself off. What I imagine is like to wean yourself off heroin or something like that, because you know you're doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
Every fibre of your body is telling you to stop, but you just can't help yourself.
I haven't watched any of it, I must admit.
Well, see, that's the exact thing that I should have done, not started.
So now I don't know where they're up to.
Right.
I don't know who's in which teams.
It doesn't make the
really
slightest bit of difference. Not one single one of them can actually sing.
Is the lady in the wheelchair still in? That's the only thing I've heard about that's been in the news to
Right.
do with X Factor.
I don't know.
I believe. And Simon Cowell was probably being horrible to somebody else.
He'll be saying the same things over and over and over.
Yeah.
He'll be saying, you sound like something that I would hear in the cabaret lounge of a four-star hotel. He says that every single episode.
Bad karaoke singer. I've
Yeah.
heard that one too. Yeah. Sound like you should be on a ship.
Yes. Yeah. Those three things. That's all. I'm going to send him a mirror in the post. Does he even have a mirror over at his place to look at himself before he leaves? Because there's a man with giant swinging moobs. That's what they're called, right?
Oh, no.
Man boobs. Yeah. There's a chap who shouldn't be wearing tight T-shirts.
Yeah.
At all.
They don't look very good.
Ever.
Very good.
Awful. I mean, he obviously has been to the gym or gets a personal trainer around, and he's under the impression that he's fit.
Yeah.
He's looking at himself with rose-tinted goggles.
Well, maybe his girlfriend likes the look. Who knows?
I wonder what his girlfriend sees in the multi-millionaire Simon
Yes.
Cowell, to rob a phrase from Mrs. Merton.
He'd look nicer in a shirt. I often think
A shirt
men
and a
who've got
jacket.
a short torso should wear a shirt. He doesn't need a jacket.
No, he does. He does need a jacket in order, because even if it was just a shirt, his
but then
moobs would still be showing through.
I don't know. Not if he had like a slightly open collar and it was just kind of a loose-fitting shirt. That would look a lot better and make him look longer. I believe.
He's a very short... Is he a very short chap?
I think he's a little bit short.
Yeah, like
but it's just that kind of
4'6",
stunted bit.
something
isn't it?
like that.
And that's why he pulls the old trousers up
To make his legs look longer.
Yeah, but then it just shrinks the old moves.
Here's one in Earlsfield. Hello, Melvin.
Yeah.
Melvin.
Good evening.
Hello.
Can you settle an argument, please? My wife and I are settling an argument here, and we want to know when Dean Martin unfortunately passed away.
Dean Martin's still dead?
I know he is. But would you know how long ago he died?
No idea.
have
Click
no
on...
idea?
no, check Wikipedia. Google it. Are you hooked up to the net?
Beg your pardon?
Are you, are you digitally wired?
No, sir, I'm not.
No, that would be, that would have been my first guess.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
my lead only goes to the power point in the wall.
What?
My television and me.
Oh, right, okay. Well, you won't get it on your TV. No, you have to buy a special machine.
No, I'm not that way inclined.
No, I bet. Your wife is thrilled. When did Dean Martin die? Was he the guy that did this?
No, not that one.
Not this one. Are you sure? You did hear more? Again. Join in if you want. Yeah, I'm sure that was Dean Martin, yeah.
You're sure, but you're not sure. Anyway, thank you very much.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Another satisfied customer. Hey, Lucy, I thought you were going to Google this. You had
Oh,
ages.
sorry. Yes.
Stop laughing,
Sorry.
woman.
It's not funny, is it?
Come on. Dino. When did Dino
Shall I do it on
die?
Wikipedia? Would that be quicker?
Well, I don't know. Anything's quicker than the way you're doing it right now.
Sorry.
Awful. But
Dean
I'm
Martin.
relying on you.
I'm sorry. I'll get my brain in gear.
Dean Martin biography.
Well, that normally gives the...
Enjoying great success in music, film and television, Dean Martin was less an entertainer than an icon. That's quite hard to say. The eternal essence of cool. Was he? I suppose so. A member of the legendary Rat Pack, he lived and died a life of booze, broads and bright lights. It doesn't say. He was born in June 1917
Probably at the bottom.
in the unromantic Stubbornville, Ohio. Go on, go down,
Yeah.
down,
I don't want to ruin your reading. He died on Christmas Day in 1995.
Oh no, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Well, that was perfect for him.
Was it?
Well, yeah, because, you know, bright lights, booze.
Just as he was about to open his presents.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Are you there, Melvin? Melvin? Oh, Melvin.
I'm his wife.
Oh, you're his wife. So how's that whole marriage thing
I used
going?
to love him, you know.
You used to, yeah.
Yeah. He was one of the Rat Pack. He was really good on the Rat Pack.
Oh, you mean you used to love Dean? I thought you meant you used to love your husband.
He was. He was one of the Rat Pack. He was really good.
Yeah. How do you feel about your husband?
My husband, oh, he's no good.
Oh, yeah.
He don't know anything. He don't know anything about the old music, you know what I mean? You do, don't you?
He doesn't know anything about what? He's just into the new stuff.
No, he doesn't know anything about anything.
Right. And how long have you been married?
34 years.
34 happy years, eh?
No, not happy.
And when did the
Aggravated, as he said, aggravated, yeah.
when was the gilt licked off your gingerbread?
I don't know. No.
You know, the metaphorical gingerbread, the gingerbread of your marriage. When did it all go? Oh, how shall we put it? Sour.
Oh, I don't know, but...
34 years ago. The moment he said yes.
Let's go together. Let's laugh.
How did he propose? Was it down on one knee?
No,
Did he have his fingers crossed?
no, but...
Just said, you know,
No.
here's a bag of chips. Fancy it?
Yeah.
We're poor old souls.
Yeah, well...
So, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's it going?
Well, it's going. Well, we have ups and downs.
Ups and downs, right. Well, if you don't have the downs, you can't have the ups, can you?
Well, everything. Yeah, but he did die about 3 years ago, didn't he?
Who, Dean? Oh, I've forgotten now.
Yes.
He died on
He
Christmas
died.
Day
No, I
in,
know. About
1995.
95.
As long ago as that.
Oh, dear.
We're all desperately trying to work it out. We've got A-level maths and, you know, we're writing on our hands. It's like almost 11 years ago now, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, you've certainly...
To me, who plays it on? Who plays it on in the morning? Nick Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, Nick,
Yeah, he plays him, doesn't he?
He does what?
He plays Nick Ferrari. Nick Ferrari plays him.
Well, I would, if I were you, I would call up Nick and,
Yeah, he plays.
speak to him direct.
This in the morning.
Yeah.
And everything, doesn't he?
Make your next call direct to him, all right. Tell him I sent you. All right, thanks a lot, dear.
Thank you.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
What a lovely couple. That's a little snapshot into your future, Luz.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
There's a long, lingering death to look forward to.
I've done a year and a half. Oh dear. Oh, they're having a lovely evening.
I bet she's still there.
Been on the phone.
See? Still talking to me. We're not listening anymore. So, have you been on holiday lately?
Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. I bet she's still there. No, she's gone. So, what's the out here? We're not paying attention anymore, are we?
2905.
2905. Hey, Louise.
Hi, Nick.
Now, have you taken what I said to heart?
Yes.
Because a little while... Now, you seem as though you're not happy. I'll say nothing if you want, but I'm trying to help you.
I am happy.
Okay.
I felt really bad all that night because I
She
thought I was
whined.
horrible to you.
Right, okay. No, you weren't horrible to me, but I'm concerned that you think I'm being horrible to you. Okay, here's the backstory. Louise wants to get into radio, but no one can understand a word she says. So I'm trying to help her, in order to further your career. I'm doing a good thing here, because I sit here and deep down, all I want to do is help. I mean, you saw how I helped the nice lady and gentleman that I was just speaking to.
Yeah.
Oh, they felt much better having had a chat with me.
Yeah. Yeah, you were just trying to help me, and
Yeah.
to be honest, if I couldn't tell what someone was saying, I'd tell them.
Exactly. Okay, so now we've got the comprehension down. The next thing I'm going to have to work on you with is the level of your voice. It's got to be lower. But hang on right there and I'll come back, all right?
Okay.
If you're planning a wonderful...
Well, let's get back to it.
Louise. Right, for the purpose of this phone call, I want you to try to lower your voice. Because if you want to get into radio, as a lady, you have to be husky. Not sharp and,
I don't smoke, I can't be husky.
not sharp and tinny, but, just like David Beckham did. He had lessons because he used to speak like, he used to squeak like a mouse. But now he almost speaks like, he's reached puberty. But it, imparts a little gravitas, so you have to lower your voice a bit because, men will just be falling over you. Believe me, you'll have hot and cold running stalkers before you know it.
I don't want stalkers.
Well, if you go on the radio, you'll get them.
Oh, dear.
You will, yeah. If you put your head above the parapet on any kind of media, then they will flock to you. Oh, woodwork squeaks, and out will come the freaks.
Oh, dear.
It's true. Particularly for women, I think.
Yeah.
Have you got any stalkers, Luce?
No.
Right. You
I
would.
obviously don't speak low enough.
So...
There's a difference between speaking low.
Only dogs can hear you. See, it's just like way too high.
Yeah, but if you speak too low, I think you sound really flat. And I like to sound a bit bubbly. And I talk like this anyway, so...
Louise, you're going to have to believe me. If you want a job in radio, you're going to have to lower your voice.
Okay, I'll try.
Whether you talk like that is irrelevant. It's show business, dear. You've got to get into the the whole mode of show. It's like no business I know. So what's up, Louise? I mean, yeah, Louise.
The daylight saving time thing.
Yes.
That sounds really good because I finish uni at 5:15 and it's dark and it's usually raining and I'm scared because it's dark and I don't know what people are going to do and I can't see when I'm crossing the road properly. So if it was lighter, I'd feel a bit more safer.
Yeah, and I think that it just makes sense that in the morning... I mean, who's got time to attack people in the morning? You're busy, you haven't even digested your cornflakes yet, right? You probably haven't had your happy morning sit-down. In the evening, you've had a whole day to think about it, and that's when you start attacking people, so that's when it would be better if it were light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I just feel safer in the summer when it's light until like 6 o'clock. I just feel a lot more safer.
Quite.
Yeah.
So it makes all sorts of sense for all sorts of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody says it. No, not everybody, but the same people say it every year. And every year we all read it and we nod our heads and as a country we think, yeah, wouldn't that be great? And then nothing ever happens, as though no one is ever listening to us. The people that we put in power, it's as though they have selective deafness. They don't hear us. They hear giant corporations that want to take them to lunch. They hear them all right. But us, no. I'm afraid that they just, it's like we're standing in the street, waving our arms and screaming at them, and they just glide on by.
We haven't got enough money for them, that's what it is.
Well, it's an awful thing to say that the people go into politics for, only for the cash and the power. I'm sure that they really do it in order to help us.
Yeah.
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 And what you were saying about X Factor, it's like watching Big Brother. Once you watch one, you have to watch them all to see what happens.
Well, I found that to my cost when I watched Big Brother this last summer. Someone, and if I ever find out who it is, I will throttle them, said, just before it started, you know what, you're going to have to watch Big Brother. And I said, no, I've never watched it, and I never will. And he said, well, people will be calling up about it, so it would be better if you knew what was going on. And that made sense to me. So I watched the first one, and I was hooked. And I watched, I still am stunned that this is the case, every single episode, that's every day, of Big Brother. I just feel such a dope. And you know what? Guess how many people called about that show? None. At all.
I watched it. I think I called you a few times about it. And didn't a woman phone you up as well and say you've got to watch it? I can remember someone phoning you up.
It's a black period in my life. But the X Factor is the same. And I'm sitting there watching it and thinking none of these people could actually would actually be on a television programme in their own right. No one would buy a ticket to see any of these people because they cannot sing. Occasionally they'll get the notes right, but they've got no kind of voice, they've got no projection, there's nothing there, it's too thin. And I have watched the ones in the States. Rod Stewart was caught out talking to another radio station. Did you see that? Because Rod Stewart was on last week, or the week before, something like that, and they were doing his songs, and he was gushing about how great everybody was, you know, just like you do in the business of show. And he was talking to another DJ, and he didn't realise he was on the air at the time, and he was saying, God, you know, absolute rubbish. None of them can sing. They're all awful, particularly the Scottish ones. And then he said, hang on a minute, I'm not on the air, am I? And he said, yes. But it's absolutely true that the American one actually had talent. Like, people who you could imagine would have some kind of career. But this bunch of dopes that they've got now, they're hopeless.
Where you go wrong is you think, I'll watch the first couple because they're going to be hilarious, because they're going to be rubbish.
Well, that's why we start watching it, is because there's a lot of people with, well, let's be honest, they look like they have mental problems. Well, they do. You know, people who come on who couldn't sing if their lives depended, they couldn't hit a note if there was a gun to their heads, and they come in and the look of stunned amazement when they don't get through, they just can't conceive of it, which is just laugh out loud funny to you and me, and that's why you start watching it, because it's basically like a Victorian freak show. It's like you go and throw rotten apples, metaphorically, at the freaks, which is, it's not something that I feel proud about, but you just can't help yourself.
Yeah. Trying to make yourself feel better.
Well, it doesn't. No, it doesn't make me feel better, the feeling that I'm better than them. It actually makes me feel worse, that I'm enjoying their pain.
Yeah.
But that's why everybody watches it.
Yeah, definitely. And the old Wikipedia thing as well. Be careful what you believe on there, because everybody changes it.
I know, and I rely on it a lot too, because there's nothing as populist that's readily available. It's, not so very long ago, if you wanted to look something up, you had to get up and walk your wobbly bottom all the way over to a library.
Yeah.
You remember libraries, don't you?
Yeah.
They're where drunks hang out to get out of the rain now. But people used to go in there to look up things called books. I know that seems hard to believe, but that's how we used to do it before computers. And you know what? It's not some ancient time long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's just 20 years ago. Well, for me, it was 10 years ago, because I was a late adopter. I only recently have got, well, relatively recently in the scheme of things, got a computer, because for the longest time I thought, we'll never need one. I'll never need to learn how to use a computer, because if the majority of the population are going to need it for their everyday life, it's going to become so easy that you'll be able to talk at it and it will do whatever you want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't have to go through a learning process, because if the your average Joe in the street, not giving them much credit, I admit, but if the average punter would require to learn complicated procedures to work a computer, then it's never going to happen. I thought it'll never take off. It seems a bit daft to think that now. And so I refused to get one until, relatively late. But now, if computers were taken away from me, I wouldn't know what to do.
Same.
Where would I get my my adverts for, penis extension? 86 of those a day come into my email box.
Don't you have a spam filter?
Yeah, I do. I do. I just put a spam filter on my computer, and it's utterly useless. It takes most of my emails now and hides them. I've got no idea where they are anymore. No one should email me, because it's...
You don't get them?
No, it just decides, off its own bat, what I should and shouldn't read.
Yeah, mine does.
And it keeps sending me things, a great business opportunity has just arisen in Namibia. Am I interested? Send money now.
Yeah.
Righto, where's my checkbook?
Yeah, definitely. That's the 21st century for you, though.
I know. And it was just a couple of decades ago that we didn't even have mobile phones. What would you do now if you needed to make a call while you were on the train, telling someone that you were going to be home in 5 minutes? All these people making these pointless phone calls, and, by the way, reducing their ability to procreate. Not only are most people not having sex at all, but those that are almost completely ruining their ability to actually have children because of the mobile phones. Did you read about this? Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Was that a yes, or like a don't care, or a what?
If you put them in your pocket or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you might as well put a mobile phone mast in your pocket, yes.
Yes, I read about that ages ago.
Well, the bad news has just come out relatively recently. Men who use mobile phones have a lower sperm count and produce sperm of poorer quality than those who use them infrequently or not at all, according to new research. They found that men who did not use mobiles had much more fitter and healthier sperm. But this is almost sounding like a Monty Python sketch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than those who use them for 4 hours or more a day. And you see builders with them clamped to their heads for hour upon endless hour, and I just can't imagine how they do it. I've got one of those phones that everyone's got, that thin thing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't put it to my head at all. I have to use it on speakerphone. I'm busy shouting at everyone, and they're shouting at me, because you can't have a spoken conversation anymore, because I can't put it anywhere near my head.
Yeah.
It does feel as though I'm boiling my brain, and that's the phone that everyone's got. I don't know how they do it. You like that, Luz?
Yeah, I don't... I quite like the speakerphone. I do it always for my answer messages as well, so that I don't have to put it to my ear.
Right.
Because otherwise you have to hear that voice going, oh, you have X number of messages, press this, and that really annoys me.
You know what? That's a con.
What do you mean?
That whole message thing. I used to have a phone, about 3 generations of phone ago, that used to have an answer machine on the phone. So in other words, if you put the ringer off, people would leave a message on your phone, so that you wouldn't have to pay money to collect your message, because the phone would store the message. Now, they have that technology.
Right.
They've had it for a good long while, years and years.
But I don't think I pay to hear my message.
Well, most people do. I don't pay to hear my message if I pick it up after 7 o'clock, but sometimes you feel as though you've got to, right? Because it could be something important.
Yeah, depends what network you're on.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
I don't think I pay on my network.
Well, get
I
you.
do. 10p every time I phone them up.
See, exactly. Yeah, it's a giant rip-off. They could put answer machines on your phone, because let's face it, your phone is stuffed with things that you'd never use. GPS, what's that? Do you ever surf the internet on your phone? No one does. I hardly ever text. Months go by I don't use my text because I'm not a teenager, you know.
I can't even get my pictures through.
I don't use the video or the photograph, the camera thing. The only thing I ever use my phone for is the very old-fashioned thing of actually making phone calls. All of those other features...
Have you never taken a picture on it? You must have done.
Only when I first got it to see how it worked. But why would you... I mean...
And I bet you cared how many pixels there were as well at the time.
Not remotely interested, no. I'm never going to take a picture on my phone. Why would I?
Well, some people like it's their screensaver.
That's what cameras are for.
I did take one. I took one of the pink boots that the lady left behind in our house with dried flowers in.
As what? As a welcoming present?
Yeah.
Well, a bottle of champagne, not good enough.
She left them outside. I find it so amusing, I thought I'd take a photo.
Well, that's nice. Can you send it to me in a text?
No, I can't.
Righto.
I can just show it to you on my phone, and that's
okay. I'll look forward to that. Hey, listen, thanks a lot, Louise. You've got a lot of work to do. Remember, enunciate clearly and lower your voice. All right?
Okay, thanks, mate.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Bye-bye. She wants to start drinking a lot of scotch and gargling with stones, like Rod Stewart does. Here's one in the car, and it's... is it someone called O'Lurkey?
Yes, indeed it is.
Is that your name?
Yeah, why not?
Mr. O'Lurkey.
Yeah, well, it works for Clive Ball.
Rightio.
Yeah, this whole Scotland thing.
Yes.
Was it? Yeah. Well, from time to time, their national football squad gets into the European and World Cup final.
Yeah, only to be sorely disappointed. Like ours, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Well, yeah, but less frequently. And they've got their own parliament as well.
Yes, they do. And a nice shiny building in which to sit.
Yep, and they're basically a country in their own right until the Olympics come up and they're obliged to be part of the Union.
Yeah.
Right. So, if Scotland is a country in its own right, why can't they just adopt their own time zone and just get on with it?
They have. They have adopted their own time zone. It's just that we have to toe the line and adopt theirs too.
Why?
What you mean is, why can't we secede from the Union and... is that the right word?
Well, yeah, I mean, just have our own time zones. I mean, you know, if we've got to go over to France and adjust our watches by an hour backwards or forwards, then why not do the same going up to Scotland?
Excellent idea.
Huh?
And I've got no idea why that can't be done. Because they're the ones that are the complainants.
We are being governed by deadheads.
Well, we're being governed by Scots.
And deadheads. Because no one's got the brain power to sit down and figure out, hey, why don't we just have our own time zone?
Well, they must have thought about it and concluded that it's not something that they want to do for whatever reason it is. I don't think they just... it's not that they can't figure it out, because it's been laid in front of them every year at this time of year for as long as I can remember. People are always saying this, and it's always the same response. Well, we can't do it because of the little Scottish children skipping merrily on their with the energy of their pinhead oats.
We do it for us, not them. Do you know what I mean?
We do it for us, not them. No, you've lost me there.
Well, no, if we did it, we'd do it for us. We wouldn't be doing it for the Scots. We'd be doing it for England.
Yes, that's right.
So we should just do it independently of Scotland.
Exactly. But we're not allowed to.
Right.
But we're not allowed to. And most of the people that are telling us we can't are Scottish.
Quality. Right, I've got to go because I've got some passengers coming. Nice speaking to you.
Okay.
See you, mate.
Thanks a lot, Mr. O'Lurkey. A lurker. Not a stalker, a lurker.
James O'Brien, Abbott.
Well, let's get back to it.
So, I was talking about Robin Hood a little while ago. Have either of you seen this Robin Hood thing?
No, I haven't. Nor the other thing you talked about.
Torchwood.
Never heard of it.
Alex?
I don't really watch much TV.
Don't you?
No.
He meant
I don't
cars
watch
all the
Dog
time.
Borstal though, like Helen.
You do what?
I don't watch Dog Borstal like Helen. I just heard her the other day.
Yeah, she was talking about that when I was sitting in for Ian. Ian Lee's gone to LA to
Yeah.
interview the cast of Lost. I hope he asked them a lot of questions that I would ask them, like, what is that all about then? Seriously, I mean, is anything ever going to happen on that show? Do they have a plan, or is it just this open-ended, oh, we don't know. I'm sure they just show up week by week and without a script, and they just mulch around and
Probably.
putts here and there, and the show ends and nothing's happened, and you shrug your shoulders and you think, well, there's another hour I'll never get back, but because you're hooked, you'll watch it the next week.
Oh, you were talking about Silver Service as well on Ian's show.
Oh, God, yeah, way too long I was talking about that.
I was
Yeah,
very excited when you
painful.
talk about that. I was a Silver Service waitress for 6
Were
years.
you?
Yes, I was.
Now, am I right? Is it an anachronistic throwback, and it's only done now by 3- and 4-star restaurants and hotels?
Probably,
with
yeah.
ambitions and airs to be better than they are.
Well, I think that's slightly unfair. I think it's quite nice to actually be served Silver Service.
Really? Because I don't. To
you
me,
probably get it at a wedding, though. I bet you've had it when you've been to a wedding, Silver Service. With a fork and a spoon, and they have the huge silver tray, and they're going round to everyone,
and the food's cold by the time it gets to you?
It's
No.
not. Oh, it's horrific work. It kills you back. And if you everyone spills it at some stage, and it really hurts. Obviously.
Wouldn't it be better just to put the plate, the food on the plate and give it to you instead of...
No, it's the whole... it's the whole experience. You also... I mean, because mostly when I did it, it's for big dinners and groups of people, so they'll all be sitting there having their, little chats. And then you come along, and you all have to go into the room at the same time, and you all have to clear your covers as quickly as you can.
So
It's
what
quite
did you
an
wear?
art
Did you have a little penny and a little paper hat?
I didn't have a penny, but we were checked that we were clean and pristine every day.
Well, I hope so.
But,
I almost hesitate... Well, in fact, I do hesitate to ask how they checked. Don't tell me. It's none of my business. You did it for 6 years.
Yeah, only as part-time work. But yeah.
Where were you doing this?
At the Royal Air Force Club in Piccadilly.
Right, an anachronistic throwback to a golden age that never was. Yeah, it's like the 50s. Everything smelled of cabbage, and it's a bunch of old buffers in moustaches, right?
The food was nice, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
But the only thing I didn't like was having to wear white gloves when royalty was in, because then that was unhygienic, I thought. 'cause
Royalty?
food got on it.
You've
Yeah.
served royalty?
I have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Prince Philip has kicked me, in actual fact. And he said, "I'm terribly sorry, my dear." He did, really.
Right, why did he kick you?
He didn't mean to, but where I was serving the next table in front of him, and so he kicked under the table, obviously without meaning to, I'm sure. To which I went, "Oh!" and then realised it was him. So, yeah. That's my one exciting royal story.
Did you kick him back?
No.
Disappointed?
No. I was much younger, so I was a bit embarrassed, really, by the whole affair.
And so was that the only royal that you've served?
The Queen Mum was in, but she was only allowed
bless
to be
your mum.
served by one person. So, and she
What?
has one...
Well,
Well,
she had someone with her.
no,
She
she was
brought her
assigned a particular... was our head waitress or whatever, and she had to do it. And she had one specific drink that she must have all night.
What was it?
Gin. But,
Was it served in a teacup?
no. But, it was quite
Neat
strange.
gin?
No. I think she had it with tonic. But obviously I didn't serve it, so
Right.
that wasn't my job. I was just serving,
And did she
local
get the same
people.
food as everyone else? Did she have a taste tester?
I don't know. I don't know if she'd had a taste before. I mean, the one that she went to that I was serving at was just drinks and canapes. So she wasn't having a sit-down dinner that night.
Because you think that someone, of that order would have someone taste it. Well, they certainly used to. I suppose
Yes.
times have changed a little bit, and she could, muck in without fear of being poisoned. But you'd think that they'd have someone to check it out beforehand.
Yeah, I suppose so. We did have all the dogs used to come round before and do all that kind of checks and everything. And we all used to have our lockers sniffed out and all that kind of thing. Yeah. It's very exciting. That's so rock and roll, isn't it?
All right, let's go with a mobile. Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good.
Good.
What's
Where's
up?
Carol?
Where's Carol?
Yeah, you're on the same station. There's no conjoined show.
Yes. No, Carol is, when's she on now? She's on...
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Sunday mornings from 10, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah. I think she's on at 9.
Not 10, 9.
Well, I thought I was thinking at 10.
Yeah, she's doing very well. She's a trillionaire now, of course, because she's on TV, and
She's on about 8 shows at once.
yeah, that's right. She's on every single day, and sometimes it's pretty good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Most of the time, it's great.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, I haven't spoken to her in a good long while. She should call up this show once in a while.
Well, it wouldn't go amiss, would it, really?
Yeah, is she going to call up this show anytime soon?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
I doubt it.
Booze.
We'll get in the way, yeah. But the offer is open anytime she likes.
Anytime she likes.
Yeah.
Is that no time never, then, is it?
Well, probably, yeah. I won't hold my breath. But thanks a lot, mate. All right.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. This is LBC. Oh, no.
Well, that's caught you out.
It did. That was a little shorter than I thought.
Oh, no.
Who is that saying, oh no?
It's a guy who used to be on Big Brother.
Oh, is it? Not this one recently.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, no.
Who was he? I don't even... Every time I hear it now, I can't think who on earth he was.
He was the Welsh guy. You know, the beanpole?
Nope.
The guy who...
You watched it, though, I didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, why are you asking me? I could describe him, down to the last atom, and you wouldn't have any idea who
Well,
it
I
is.
remember the last few in the house, but he
But I don't know
wasn't
about you, but now when I think, oh no, I'm hearing
Oh, no.
in my
Same here.
mind, yeah.
That's your fault.
I know. Well, for years, whenever I say, I've said this the other day, whenever I say yeah, I hear,
Yeah.
and no is...
No.
And years after there were years after I stopped using that, and I still hear it every time I say it.
And do you
in
ever
my
find
mind.
yourself saying it to other people? No.
No, yeah, I do, yeah, and they've got no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They just think you're being a bit abrupt
A
with
bit
them.
weird, yeah.
Would you like a cup of tea? No.
Yes.
Really?
Are you offering?
If you'd like another.
Are you asking?
Are you dancing? Have I got that right?
Who's asking?
If you're dancing, I'm asking?
No, you said,
Oh.
are you dancing?
Are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
I'm dancing.
Yay!
Robin Hood, I'm going to get this out if it kills me. Robin Hood's Merry Men Are Not So Merry after ITV robbed them of more viewers. The BBC One Drama's audience on Saturday night was down 700,000 on the previous week. This is last Saturday, not tonight. I bet tonight's down even further. It averaged 6 million viewers, down 2.2 on its debut outing. You know, the time was when a Saturday night general entertainment programme used to get 20 million viewers in this country. Isn't that incredible to even think about that? And it was usually something really... Well, when you see it these days, you think, blimey, why did anyone watch that? 6 million. For all that money, all of our money that they spent on that, and it's only got 6 million viewers. I bet it's down to around 5 this evening because, seriously, did it get any better? And even, there's more to this story, and even now I still haven't got time to read it. After the news, eh?
On FM, on Abbott.
How are you?
You forget that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the governor of California. What a strange place America is. It's almost like being in a movie. He's standing there saying that he's going to catch those ne'er-do-wells and, put them in a small room and...
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Do you think they'll be terminated?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Correct.
But don't you find that just bizarre? I mean, of all the people in all the world, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's just too weird. But mind you, I can't get over the fact that George Bush is running the show over there. There's not one moment that I've ever seen that man that I thought, yeah, this man's got it together. You see Tony Blair, and whatever you might think of Tony Blair, he obviously knows what he's talking about. Even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, he can flannel along and, convince you that he does have a grasp of the issues. And he impresses you with his, verbosity, and he's obviously a bright man. And no matter what question you throw at him, usually he'll not answer it, but that's just the political way. But he will be able to come out with, a lot of noise that seems to make sense. A lot of words that are ordered correctly. Whereas you ask a question of George Bush, and it's just comical. You can almost see his the cogs going in his little mind, and everything that comes out is kind of.
What?
It's just, there's nothing there. It's just a blank facade. I think blank being the operative word, and that's the man that's running the show. Don't you find that stunning? That Arnold Schwarzenegger's running the biggest and the most populous and richest state, and George Bush is running the whole country. That's just... And Marion Barry is a guy is he still not mayor of Washington? Have I got that right? Is either Washington or Pittsburgh or one of those places.
Which one's he?
Marion Barry is the guy that was found, I might not have all the details correct, but it's more or less this. He was found in a motel room, smoking crack with a hooker.
Excellent. That's just what you want.
The campaign
He was, yeah, that's right, yeah. He was polling the electorate. Something like that. And he was fired, or whatever the correct term is, from being mayor. Ran again and was re-elected. It's like a whole nother country, ain't it?
Yeah, really strange.
Weird. I mean, you think that this is a weird system we've got over here.
It'd be like Jordan being mayor, wouldn't it? You're trying to imagine the most ridiculous people running the country.
Yes. I mean, it's just properly weird. I mean, our politicians, we heap invective on them all the time, and they, properly deserve it. But at least they don't seem moronic. At least you're not frightened when you hear them speak. At least they do seem to have a grip on reality.
Sort of.
But they're going for their midterm elections soon, aren't they?
Yeah.
And,
I don't think I got my voting in time. For the local polls. When I moved house, it was all at the wrong time, so I don't think I filled it in time. It's very frustrating.
Oh, no, not our midterm elections.
No, our ones for coming up later, which aren't actually till, when, April or something?
I've no idea.
Well, they sent the forms out in October, and you had to get them in, in my
Those were for next April?
Yeah. Yeah, and they said if I didn't have them in by the 17th of October, I probably wouldn't get a vote.
What?
Yeah, which seems nuts to me.
Well, that doesn't seem very efficient, no.
So I can probably do something about that. Maybe I've got the dates wrong.
Well, just steal some old person's vote. I mean, that's the done thing these days, isn't it? Just go to an old people's home and you could steal a bunch of them.
But if I'm paying all my council tax...
Oh,
surely
God, here we go. Stamping her little feet.
Well, surely it must be fine by the time that comes round, anyway.
No, it isn't. Stop complaining or we'll arrest you. Here's one in the Docklands. Jessica.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, Jessica.
You're so wrong what you're saying about the library. When was the last time you visited a library?
When I was a child.
When you were a child? Well, I mean, I would say the same thing until about a month ago. And then I've discovered the kind of mobile library.
Do they still have those?
Well, I didn't even know they had them in the first place until a month ago. It's like a library in a lorry, and it's brilliant.
Right, that's why they call them mobile libraries.
Well,
yeah,
probably.
Mobile, yeah.
But it parks right outside my flat.
Huh.
So literally it takes me 2 minutes to go down there. They've not got brilliant books, actually, on the kind of lorry library, but they will get hold of a book for you, and the next week it's there ready for you.
Do people still read books?
Well, I do. I read quite a lot of books.
I think that's another thing, like silver service, that's completely going out of fashion. No one does that anymore. People barely buy newspapers.
Well, much as you were saying yesterday that people up north use silver service. People up north still read books, because I do.
The Docklands isn't up north.
Yeah, but I live in Sheffield, and that's where the library is.
What, is the Docklands your summer home?
Yeah, it's my summer home. It's my work home. The work house. But no, it's brilliant. I can't recommend the library enough. And they you can get DVDs there, you can get CDs.
Oh, wow, you should have said DVDs and CDs. Now you're talking.
Your iPod, and if you don't take them back on time, and you can take up to 6 books, I think, for about 3 weeks. And at the mobile library, because it only comes once a week, every Friday, if you don't kind of take them back on time, the fine is 8p a week, which means that you're quite happy to keep them for about
forever.
6 months. Yeah, forever, really.
In fact, it'd be cheaper to nick them than it would to go out and buy them, yeah.
I mean, I don't really go to visit a library. I haven't done that for, like I say, a long, long time.
I think people only go to visit a library now in order to get on the net. People who can't afford computers.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a giant, sweeping statement, and I've got no idea if it's true or not, but it's just the sort of rubbish that I say.
So, are you saying that you don't read books?
You know what? It embarrasses me every time I think of it, but yes, I don't. Or no, I don't. Yes, you're correct, I don't.
That's terrible.
Yes, it's a no.
I'm quite picky about the books that I read. I either like sort of kind of interesting biographies or autobiographies, or fiction written in the first person, preferably American. I don't really like anything too dated or boring.
Have you read Chris Moyle's autobiography yet?
No, I wouldn't. I'd rather never read a book again than read Chris Moyle's autobiography.
I'm in it.
Are you?
Yeah.
What does this say? Good things, bad things?
No, he's been very nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go to a bookshop and look at that book and flick through the index to see if your name was there?
No, somebody sent me the text.
Oh, okay.
I'm also in Jeremy Clarkson's little book.
Oh, I quite like Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah,
I wouldn't read his book. I wouldn't read his book. Because I usually read books when I'm travelling down on the train. So there's that thing about people are going to look at the book. There's a bit of book snobbery going on.
Yeah, of course. You
I
don't
wouldn't sit there with a Catherine Cookson, because that says something about you, doesn't it? Or a Chris Moyles. You've got to have quite a good-looking book in your hand.
Yeah, one of the classics, perhaps.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. I'm kind of into lots of NLP books at the moment, and those are the kind of things that you wouldn't necessarily want to buy because they're sort of 25, 30 quid.
NLP.
You can get them from the library for free.
Huh?
NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming.
Oh, right. What's that, then?
It's sort of, it's like the study of language and how to influence people.
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Boring!
No. It's a bit like you watched the Big Brother thing, didn't you?
Yes.
Just because somebody told you to.
I know.
Yeah, so they influenced you with their language by saying, you should watch it, you're supposed to be a people person.
I know, and I was sitting there day after day, and my mind was screaming, I hate it! But I was watching it anyway.
Well, what you should have said to that person was, mind your own business, I'm a fully fledged adult, I can judge what I want to watch on TV myself.
Apparently it
If
was
only that were
Jessica
true.
who told you to watch it.
What?
That's what somebody else said, who said they listened to the podcast.
I'd deny it in a court of law, but,
Was it you?
It might have been. But you didn't have to, just because I told you to. That was me already using NLP before I even knew what it was.
And you neuro-linguistically programmed me?
Dreadful.
Can't believe it.
Well, there you go.
I feel so stupid.
You should watch Robin Hood, it's really good.
Once bitten, twice shy, Jessica.
Anyway, go to the library, it'll do you some good.
I absolutely will not do that.
Oh, well.
But thanks for asking.
Okay.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
That was Jessica Wabbit. One of my favourite calls. This is LBC.
The Home.
Hey, you know what? It's British Gas Energy Efficiency Week, and on LBC we are giving you the chance to win a fabulous prize, £1,000 to spend on your forthcoming energy bills, which get you through till the end of November. The way I spend money, outrageous. This weekend, Alison Bella's in for Paul Ross, and tomorrow morning from 7 o'clock she will be playing an energy-based song clip and asking a simple question. And as I said, the prize is £1,000 to spend on your forthcoming energy bills. And to find out more about British Gas Energy Efficiency Week, you can go online for details. Our website will have it, lbc.co.uk. Here's one in South Derbyshire. It's Aid who can get laid.
Hello, Nick. How are you doing?
I am all right, mate.
Yeah, before I get what I called about, that statement you made about people going to the internet that can't afford a computer, that it was true. It's 4 years ago. I don't know if it is now, because I used to do the same thing myself.
There's an information underclass. People who congregate in those nasty little internet cafes, and furiously try to.
But it's free in the
furiously
library,
tapping away. They are trying to avoid anybody else seeing the pornographic messages that are coming up on their screen.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd get one myself, because although I don't intentionally. Believe me, don't go and look for these stuff.
Of course not.
Sometimes you just find it unintentionally, don't you? It's on there and it's got to come out,
Yeah.
It's in the library.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think you'll, get ejected.
You'll get what, sorry?
Ejected.
Oh, ejected, right.
But, yeah, I did something I've never done for a good long while last night.
Oh, no. Please don't tell me.
What? No, I went out.
Out?
Yeah.
What, outside?
I didn't come out, I went out.
Are you very sure you're not homosexual?
Oh, that's awful, Ducky.
Well, outside you went?
No, I went out into the town and actually...
That's what I mean, outside the flat.
I don't live in a flat.
Or house, or box, or whatever it is that you... Caravan. Your car. Car costs so much, you've got nowhere to live.
No. Yeah, and, I mean, it's... Well, I think one of the reasons I don't go much is because I work at weekends. So, your social life's just, dead in the water anyway. Nobody wants to go out with you the week, so...
Well, yeah, I feel your pain, yes. I mean, I'm forever wanting to go out and, blow bubbles during the middle of the week, and no one is remotely interested. Oh, can't do that, they say. I've got no end of afternoons free, but everyone's busy working.
Yeah, I've got 4 days. I mean, it's great having 4 days off, but, the pain of, if you've got to rearrange work or go, have a holiday if you want to go out, which is not good.
But now that the evenings are drawing in, I want to go out even less. I mean, in the summertime, I'd like to go out on my balcony. That's about as far out as I would like to go, about no further than 20 feet from my kitchen. But now, it's, although this evening is surprisingly mild, it's like a summer's evening out there. Yeah, if you haven't already, everyone listening to this now should throw open their windows, or, put a brick through their French doors, and to let some of that warm, balmy summer air in.
Around my way, if you...
With the top down, then. It's that wall.
Sorry,
if I freeze, I'll blame you.
Yeah, okay. No, don't put the top down in your car. Because it's bound to be raining any moment now. What was that, Alex?
I was going to say, around my way, if you open your window, your firework will come in.
Yeah.
Am I alone thinking this? But this year, unlike the last few years, or as long back as I can remember, there have been precious few fireworks up to this point. Like, normally, a month before fireworks night, it's just constant, banging, crashing, slamming action outside your window. But this year, hardly a thing, right?
It'll probably go on now for a month afterwards instead, just to, make up for the month in advance.
But but that normally doesn't happen. It normally dies down, within at least within a week afterwards. Is it at the weekend? When's the 5th? When does the 5th lie?
Well, it's the 31st on Tuesday.
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Oh, it's
but it also,
Sunday, isn't it?
You're working.
Isn't it a similar date to Diwali? Isn't that why there's often a lot of fireworks around that time?
I have absolutely
no
idea.
So it'll depend when that falls, I believe.
Right.
Right. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah, anyway, I went to see a bloke's band that I used to work with, and they was quite good.
Yes.
And, after 10:30, I'd had enough. I'd only had 3 pints. It's just something like, when I was in my 20s, I was just laughed at.
Well, yeah, when in your late teens and early 20s, come 3 o'clock in the morning, you're just starting to get going. But these days, almost everything I do, including going to the theatre or anything that's happening in the evening, there's this voice in the back of my mind which says, Wouldn't you rather be sitting at home watching The Sopranos? And almost always the answer is yes.
And I'd say 3 pints, and I've absolutely felt dead today. I'm really, really surprised with myself. I just, it's just it from now on. It's,
Well, how old are you?
I'm 32.
32? Oh, right. I thought you were much younger than that.
Yeah, it's scary.
Well, your ability to consume alcohol, unless you keep in practice, does diminish with age. So, it's all downhill from now. But, of course, the flip side of that is that it's much cheaper to get drunk.
But, who wants to feel awful all day?
Well, you used to be able to drink like a drain, stay up all night long, have 2 hours sleep, bounce out of bed, and go and do a full day's work. Or, be a supermodel, or whatever it is that you happen to do. But these days, I stay up past midnight, and I need 3 days to recover.
Yeah. I wouldn't dare drink. Apart from I've got to drive to work, I wouldn't dare do it, because now they're going to start testing you for alcoholic substances at work.
At work?
Yeah.
Why, you clean toilets for a living?
You always say that. That's part of the thing, but mainly I'm a scrubber.
Yeah, what?
It's better than doing toilets. It's scrubbing floors for a machine. Not very interesting job.
Well, why on earth would they test you for alcohol, like you'd miss the floor with the broom?
Well, I suppose it's machinery, isn't it? You know, these things, it's like an inside version. You know what you see people, you must see them in London, that go around on the streets, with a machine. That's where that sweeps. This is just like one that's got water in as well.
You ride in one of those dinky little machines?
No, I don't ride it. I have to walk on it. It just go on. It just moves. Just motorised. You still have to walk behind it.
Right. So it's health and safety. You're actually using heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every packet of pills I ever take says don't operate heavy machinery.
And it's an American machine. 'Cause it's got a place for. It's like got 2 holes, and one must be for your cup of coffee, and I imagine the other one must be for your donut.
You've got a floor cleaner that has a cup holder.
Yeah.
That is an American machine, yeah.
It is really. I mean, I'd love to see the faces if you went in with a cup of coffee around there. They'd probably put you up against the wall and shoot you.
They'd spit their tea out, yeah. So have you been watching Robin Hood?
No. I hardly watch any telly.
Who are all these people who don't watch TV? I thought that everybody watched TV all the time. Television is my life. I keep talking to people who don't watch TV.
Everyone listens to the radio.
I watch DVDs mainly.
DVDs, yeah.
But, the only other thing, there's nothing on, there's Top Gear's still on now, obviously, but there's Fifth Gear, and that's rubbish now.
Fifth Gear, yeah, the poor man's alternative to Top Gear. I like my car shows, but I won't go that far. I tried to like that programme, but you know what? It just looks like it was made. It was made in someone's lunch break. It's just too cheap.
Have you seen it lately? It's set in a cafe or something now.
Well, yeah, there's supposed to be some designer's office of some kind, isn't it?
Some office come cafe or something, but, you know.
But the worst show on TV could quite possibly be the one that's on before that, which is the Gadgets show on Channel 5. Have you seen that?
People are sorry to watch this.
It is awful. No offence to the people that are on that show, though, but, it's got to be the worst show that's ever been on British television. And I include Robin Hood in that.
Like a Tomorrow's World thing, I'd imagine is it that type of gadget?
Well, no, Tomorrow's World had, a certain essence of quality about it. You could, like leather seats, you could smell the quality. But the Gadget show on Channel 5, it's just, it's a bumbling mess. I mean, there's only so many gadgets that you can make interesting on television. And they go out of their way in order to do bizarre televisual things to gadgets. And you can tell from the moment that they start that they've totally run out of ideas. And the only reason would anyone want to watch it is to win the prize that they're giving away during the course of the programme. Phone now, it'll only cost you, £850 per text.
Yeah. you know, you're helping Louise from Barnsley, is it?
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
You should model her so. I mean, that's the only thing I like watching Fifth Gear for these days, because Bud Lenderson, she's she smokes 100 packs a day or something, isn't she? She's a nice girl, but yeah, she's got a really husky voice.
Yes, and that's exactly the sort of voice that goes down really well on the radio, because men start hyperventilating, and you know, they want to ingest the radio. They want it inside them. They love it so much. Lucy has got exactly one of those voices, very husky, like she drinks, like she puts whiskey on her cornflakes. Hey, Luce.
I do.
See how deep that is? Very nice. Men are salivating just at the very thought.
Luckily, this is radio.
But you put yourself on MySpace now, so you're in danger of going stalkers.
No, wait. I didn't put myself on MySpace.
No, I think Lucy's put herself on
Oh, that's right. You've got a MySpace site, Luce.
Yeah. I haven't logged on, though, for a while. I found it all a bit much.
I'm one of her little friends.
He's one of my little friends. I've got a few little friends.
I bet you do. All right. I wish you the best of luck, all right.
Okay, catch you again then.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
Why have you got a MySpace site?
I thought I'd give it a go. Actually, do you know how it came about?
No.
I had never learnt to put a picture from my digital camera into the computer, and my husband was extremely annoyed as he bought me this digital camera that I should teach myself. So I sat there working it out, and then I learnt on MySpace that you can, like, add all these photos in, so I started doing it, and there
The way
we
you
go.
waved your hands around when you said that, then your eyes lit up, and it's like the most excited I've ever seen you.
And who taught you how to do this?
Well, I started to learn to do it, and Alex has also got a MySpace, so I had to then keep emailing him on it, going, how do I do this bit, and how do I do that bit? So I'm not much of a whiz at it, but...
Have you got music on your MySpace page?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Well,
Lucy has.
I thought that it just popped up. Obviously.
No, you have to put music on it. What kind of music have you got in your MySpace site, Alex? This one?
Oh, I like that one.
Something like that.
No, I bet...
Sparkle Horse I've got.
I bet
what?
he's got...
Sparkle Horse.
What's that?
Sparkle Horse? Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Yeah, they're one of my favourites. That's the one I like the best.
When 3.
I enjoy working with people.
Here's Worthing. Hello, Charles.
Good evening to you, Clive. First, I'm sorry, it's Nick, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
All
First time. Right, I was going to talk about,
Oh, you've got to make notes.
yeah, you're right there. Fireworks.
Fireworks?
Yeah, they're letting them off now, this minute, in Worthing.
Well, they would be.
No, I thought they shouldn't be let off after 11 o'clock.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, that's probably a ne'er-do-well.
I don't know what you call that. It's not fair, is it? I mean, these little babies and elderly people who sleep. We're watching television and it makes you jump sometimes.
Oh, right. What's on?
Eh?
What's on?
You.
I'm on TV.
We receive you on Sky TV.
Oh, that's right. I'm on Sky TV. Yeah.
It's channel 0177.
77 is the correct answer. Yeah, well done. You got it
How much
absolutely
do I
right.
get for that?
So what does he win, Luce? So they're letting them off now, and but am I right in thinking that is it just me, or have the fireworks season has it been shortened this year?
It goes right down here, it goes on all the year round. I think if somebody's got a birthday Saturday night, off they go. They come out of the pubs 11 o'clock at night, and off they go.
Well, that surprises me, Worthing, because, no offence, but Worthing is where people from Brighton go to die.
Is it? Well, we came from Camberley, moved down here to retire, and
yeah,
for a quiet life.
Right, where people from Camberley, go to eke out the rest of their existence. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's when, like I said before, when people get, too old to wear jeans, they bust them out of Brighton immediately, and the first stop's Worthing.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd have a lovely retirement down here, because I love playing the piano, and I thought the pubs must have pianos. Phew, that's a joke. Yeah.
What, is it?
Well, they don't have pianos down here.
No Joannas?
No Joannas in the pubs.
But at least you got the C, eh?
Yeah, go on. I heard that and all.
I would like to go and spend my twilight years, which sound like they're advancing on me really rapidly. I'll be lucky to end the show. I might die right now, Charles.
Hey,
I might go before you.
Well, tell me how old you are, Clive. Go on.
Who?
Nick, I keep saying Clive, Nick. Tell
46.
46. Oh, I'm nearly 72.
I knew you'd tell me.
Well,
even without bidding.
Pardon?
Even without bidding.
No, that's all right, yeah. Here.
What?
Did I hear somebody mention something about mobile phones, photo phones?
Yes.
I found out something about them. Shall I tell you?
Oh, go on then.
Go on, yeah. Well, look, I'm not an expert on these things.
No, really?
I'm one of these chaps that do like to know a bit about everything.
Yeah.
I've got this mobile phone, and we bought a digital camera with a printer. You with me?
I'm with you.
Right. Now, on the side of the phone, we found we've got this little, like, black lens. My wife has got a phone as well. We found out that we can transfer pictures or anything from one to the other direct by holding them a couple of inches apart.
Yeah. Photographs, eh?
Yeah. And I see on the printer, which is entirely different make and everything, that's got a little black lens on it. I thought, I wonder. So I did. I tried. I've just put it in the right mode. And I've got a picture come out.
I'm stunned, Charles, because that technology is beyond me. I've got no idea how to make that work.
Well, the reason I think I told somebody else about this, and what I said then was, when you come to plugging things in, you can do damage if you don't plug them in right, as you will appreciate. But with this, I forget what they call it now, infrared, it doesn't. Well, you can't do any damage, can it?
Is it Bluetooth?
No.
One of those colours, infrared, Bluetooth, something like that.
IRDA, I think it's called. IRDA.
Well, it's, no offence, but it's great that you're keeping up with modern technology. You're doing better than I am, mate.
I do try.
Do you read instruction manuals?
Only after.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Try first, and if you don't succeed...
All this self-assembly furniture, put it together, and then look and see where I went. Might have gone wrong.
Right. Well, the best of luck with your equipment there, Charles.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Nick, I'll have to play my piano for you one of these nights.
Yeah, that's right.
My electric organ, I do like to be beside the seaside.
I can't wait to...
You know that sound you've got on that organ you've just played?
Yes.
That is a Wurlitzer organ.
Bound to be, yeah.
Yeah, and you know...
Oh, he cut himself off. He's such a whiz with the electrics. He cut himself off mid-sentence. We'll never know how that was going to end. Isn't that a shame? I still haven't got to the end of this Robin Hood story. Does anybody watch Torchwood?
No, never heard of it.
Torchwood?
Never heard of it.
Oh, blimey. Do you ever leave there's buses all over London with the Torchwood thing plastered all over the side of them. There's posters covering the whole of the metropolis.
Really?
There's been adverts on the BBC, like no end. Like it's going out of style, this thing, which it shortly will.
What's it about, and when's it on?
Oh, Torchwood. It's the Doctor Who spin-off thing that they put great stock in.
Oh. It wouldn't be my kind of thing, I don't think.
I don't think it's anybody's kind of thing. It was just weird. Anyway, the end of this Robin Hood story is that they lost 700,000 viewers week on week. That's huge. Mostly because people tuned in because they'd been bullied into it by the BBC, throwing this programme at us, telling us how great it was going to be, and people tuned in and oh, all right then, and they're looking slack-jawed, thinking, is this it? And then they promptly didn't tune in the next week. And what they had on the other side was people who can't sing on the X Factor, and Anton Deck. Now I know that people think that they're jolly and charming, and they're not the new Morecambe and Wise, but they're the only thing that we've got on at the moment. But that's what drew them away. That's how bad Robin Hood is. That it was drawn away. The audience was drawn away by the X Factor. That's embarrassing.
Is it like an adult Robin Hood? I mean, is it not for kids, or...?
Well, it looked like it was for kids to me. It looked just too silly. I mean, if it was an adult, then I wouldn't have minded. Torchwood is another problem, because that's... They positioned it as an adult version of Doctor Who, or an adult spin-off of Doctor Who, because it's got sex and violence in it. But it just looks like Scooby-Doo Goes to Soho. It's just very... it just doesn't work. It's just too bizarre. It's all... It's kind of unbelievable and silly and childish, and then someone gets their head bitten off.
Oh, it doesn't sound like my
or
thing.
has sex in the toilets. And it's like two different programmes that have been melded together. Like that car which
I've
was
just
called...
realised I think I know what you're talking about.
Torchwood.
Is this one that's all on the underground, where you have a line-up of people, and it says, Abby did this, and George is a doctor, but he'd like to be with Ursula.
No, that's something that's coming up on Channel 5. I saw that today as well.
Yeah, I keep saying that.
Right. And did you curl your lip, as I did, and think,
I don't know. I'm not really into Channel 5.
There's
Is it funny? Supposed to be funny?
I've got no idea. I think it's supposed to be sexy, because most of them are wearing almost nothing at all, right?
Yeah, they're looking quite macho, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they had disrobed. Yeah. Almost as though they didn't know the photographer was coming.
I could see beefed up pectorials in one of the chaps.
Pectorials?
Yes.
Is that like a pictorial?
Yeah.
Yeah. A picture strip of his chest.
That's it.
They call it a pectorial. Yeah. BBC chiefs are alarmed at the rate that Robin Hood is losing viewers, but officially they're putting on a brave face. Well, they would. It must have cost a fortune. I mean, these things cost millions of pounds an episode. And this is their big autumn family push. Because they have to, you know, keep the ratings up, because it makes them look good.
They need to go back to Narnia, don't they? It's more popular.
Or Noel's house party.
Well, you know what? I bet they've asked. I bet they have.
No.
They took him off when they got bored, but now he's a gigantic hit. I
Is
bet
that
they're
when Blobby
desperate.
came to town? Is it? Was that on Noel's house party?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
Well, that was the great period of light entertainment on a Saturday night. The whole
That's why
family.
people should go out instead.
Yeah, that's right. But
the best
staying,
excuse for going out.
yeah,
is
staying in
Saturday
is
TV.
the new going out. You know what the best excuse for going out is? What's coming up? And maybe you. I was talking about this when I was sitting in for Ian, which was a very strange show for me, by the way. And for at least 2 hours into the show, I just felt nervous.
Did you?
Yeah, like I was doing it for the very first time. It just felt really...
I was probably looking
odd.
at Christian and Helen. Does that make you feel nervous? Growling at you through the glass.
Not our smiley faces that you're used to.
No, it was just really bizarre. I sat here, and because I've filled in for Ian before, so, you know, a show's a show. You get callers, and, you know, there's no problem. But I just felt...
It's not as relaxing, though, is it? Because you've got a lot more travel and headlines.
No,
and
I'm sure
sort
that
of
wasn't it, though. But it did take like a good 2 hours for me to actually feel relaxed, which is really bizarre. And all the time, there was this voice in my mind that was going, why aren't you relaxed?
It was the daylight. That's what did it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, see, we've got the nice dark in here.
But there is a reason that you should gird your loins to leave the flat this winter.
Really?
And it's what I was talking about on Ian's show. Jimmy Savile is making a comeback.
Oh, no!
With Jim'll Fix It.
I heard that.
Can you stand it?
No!
12 years after he last fixed it. And I was amazed, because he showed up on Top of the Pops a little while ago, didn't he? And I thought the guy was dead. I
No,
thought
you
he'd been
didn't.
dead. Absolutely. Because you haven't seen him for decades, right?
He's going to live forever.
Quite possibly. I think
Yeah.
by the looks of him, he already has. 12 years after he last fixed it, and I thought it was a lot longer ago than that. I thought that people were still wearing flares, and not the comeback, ironic flares either. Like back when they used to be the only thing that you could buy in the shops.
At least trackies came back in for a while. If only he'd relaunched 2 years ago.
What do you mean, came back in for a while? I'm wearing trackies right now.
Yeah, but you're not wearing, like, you know...
Gold lame ones.
Yeah, no, like the, what are those kind of trendy ones that people wear?
Well,
It sounded
look
about
like
92.
pyjamas.
Yeah, that's right. You're not wearing those. You're wearing normal, like, relaxed tracksuit.
Yeah.
But you can buy those kind of velour ones. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Oh, what, like Madonna wears?
Yeah, and you wear them really low and you show a bit of kind of pant action and all that.
That has got to stop. Are we over that yet? Stop showing your underwear.
It's horrible.
Because when you sit down, particularly...
girls.
Well, particularly people who are a little too heavy to be wearing to be wearing sportswear in the first place. Sportswear that's never seen the inside of a gym. There's nothing to hold the pants up, and the vast girth of their wobbly bottom pushes them down when they sit down, so that you see all of the moon. It's a total eclipse of your face, and you're looking there, and you can't look at anything else. You're just transfixed.
It's a pretty sight.
Awful. They've got to stop doing that. Can we have high-waisters back in again, or at least...
Simon Cowell's been, hitting them, but they haven't taken off for anyone else.
No, he's been ploughing that furrow lonesomely all this time, yeah. Anyway, Jimmy Savile's coming back. Isn't that awful? Jim'll fix it. Like, they really have completely run out of ideas, haven't they? It's going to be coming back on the TV station where old programmes go to die. UK TV Gold.
Isn't it like a Then and Now one?
That's right, like Wogan.
That's
Apparently,
right.
Wogan is doing a more or less the same sort of thing, which is just a cheap way of doing a programme, right?
Yeah, you only have to do half a programme.
That's right, yeah. The new series is called Jim'll Fix It. Now and then it's going to air on UK TV Gold, and we'll revisit classic fix-its. I mean, these are the things like, can I eat... in the story
do that
here
on the radio, couldn't we?
Yeah, sure. So the one that they picked up was a group of Cub Scouts who asked to eat their packed lunch on a roller coaster.
Oh, that sounds like fun, doesn't it?
I mean, that's really... that's really sedate entertainment.
Did you ever think of something that you'd like to do, though, when you watched the programme?
No. Yes, turn it
everyone
off.
Did. No, you must have thought of it. Well...
Not one single
time. Did you never think, what could I do? I'd really like to do.
Yeah, it mostly involved shooting Ginny. What an awful thing to say. To a British icon like that. God bless you. Not Mom, that wouldn't really work, would it? Or maybe it would, yeah. Close enough for jazz.
Come on.
Anybody had a trick-or-treater so far? Teenagers who cause trouble while out trick-or-treating. And that's not us, though, trick-or-treating. That's not something that we do. People have learnt this off the TV and films, haven't they? I mean, since when did we ever trick-or-treat? It's just such an Americanism. We just don't do that here.
It's only for kids, really, isn't it? But now it's just all become a bit aggressive.
Well, apparently so, yeah.
When I lived in the States, the kids didn't even bother saying trick or treat anymore. They just held out a bucket and you filled it with
and
sweets.
a gun.
A bucket.
They didn't say anything. They just went.
Not their hands. A bucket.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to give them money, aren't you?
No, I thought sweets.
I think they often quite like money these days.
Well, I'm sure they would.
Do you know, in fact, I was in the pub on Thursday and some kids came in and asked then for trick or treat. They didn't have anything with them. They just had, like, plastic masks on their face. And they went, trick or treat, until they got chased out of the pub. We were like, no. But they didn't. What I couldn't understand, though, is that they had the balls to do that as young kids. I would never have dared go in a pub at kind of 10 years old.
Well, no, that was in a golden age, long, long ago, when kids had respect for their elders, because their elders would clip them about the ear if they showed, disrespect. These days, kids know that because of the human rights legislations and all these other things that are preventing us from actually doing the right thing, they know that no matter what they do, they could be stabbing us in the ear at the time, and the most that we could do, in fact, it would probably be impinging on their human rights to do this, is to ask them politely if they wouldn't mind stopping. They know they can do anything they want, because you can't... the society has been... denuded.
Dumbed down. It's funny to not see children be remotely sort of, I don't know, not scared of doing that, but, like you just wouldn't have done it, would you, as a child ourselves?
There's many and various things that you wouldn't have done as a child that kids do ordinarily these days, like leave chewing gum on seats, for instance, like ride on the pavement, even.
Oh, adults do that too, though.
Well, I know
That's
they do now.
incredibly
Yeah,
annoying.
a policeman would tick you off if you did that in the good old
parks
days.
as well. That's very annoying when you're dog walking.
It was grand when we were a lad. I would be going up cobbled hill with bicycle, but never on pavement, taking bread uphill, and then have a wheelie all the way down. And me mum would be sitting by the fire, scrubbing me dad's back. Let's have one in Russell Square. Benny.
Hello, Nick.
Benny.
Hiya. You alright?
I am, thanks, yeah.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Your ears are ringing?
I've been to the 07 concert.
07?
Yeah.
Now, they are properly great. Where were they playing?
Brixton Academy, and guess who they had with them?
Coop.
Jose Gonzalez.
Jose Gonzalez. Remind me.
Have you got the new album?
07, yeah.
Yeah, he does he's the male vocals. He's got his really distinctive voice.
Right.
And there's also, I think, Sia, who's the girl in it, and she is insane. She was jumping and dancing around as though she'd been, scoring pop.
I did not know that that 07 were actually playing in London. Is that the only date?
I think they were only doing like a three date tour with Jose Gonzalez, but they were doing one earlier in the year.
But it's such a laid-back vibe. 07, if you don't know, is it's like the ultimate chill-out band, isn't it? People, it's a lazy, sunny Sunday afternoon in the park type music.
Yeah, some of the tracks they do get quite intense near the end.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's basically music for people who can't be bothered to go to clubs anymore. And just want something to have a cocktail with and a chat with their mates.
Yeah, although they had a support band who were they were strange. They were using percussion instruments they were using were like whacking a dry fish and using little kids' typewriters and making the noise.
Whacking a dry fish? That sounds like a euphemism. Are you sure?
It was definitely a fish, and they had lots of little... They kept throwing out cats. She was obsessed with cats, the woman.
Cats?
Not real cats, of course. One's made out of pipe cleaners.
Huh. It sounds, Groovy. Yeah.
It was quite crazy. And also I was going to say, I was coming back on the tube, and there were so many people in costume for Halloween. It's not even Halloween yet.
Are these adult people?
Yep.
I suppose they would be at this time of night, yeah.
All of them adults. And I'm being invited to a party at Halloween, and I've no idea what to wear, if anything. I should have stayed.
No, you can't stay in if you've been invited to a party. You absolutely have to go. You never know, you might score, Benny.
Oh, yeah.
You might be the person that actually gets to have sex in this country this year.
Oh, no, also, I was going to say, you were mentioning Jimmy Savile a while ago.
Yes.
He's my dad's second cousin. That's claim to fame, isn't it?
Is he really? Your dad's second cousin?
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Savile?
He is. I've never met him. I've met his cousin at a wake, and that was about it.
So you don't have any inside scoop, any stories that you could tell us?
No, but my mate has one that apparently he refuses to use a lift when he was transferring all his stuff inside a flat, and he ordered the men to carry them up the stairs. These massive sofas and things.
Why?
I've no idea.
Well, it might be for the same thing that I've experienced, is that lifts break down, and the people that own the building refuse to allow you to move in and out by using the lift, because the lift just keeps breaking down all the time.
Yeah, there's a lift I was in at Russell Square Station, that really winds me up. One of these days it will break down and people will just pass out of claustrophobia. Have you ever been in...
A lift that broke down, yeah, at the top of the Hampstead Tube, which is, of course, the deepest tube shaft on the whole system.
Yeah.
And it was just feet before the top, where it shut down and jutted to a halt. Yeah, people were...
I hate that.
People were on the surface, they were calm. Mentally, I, at least, was going... just freaking out.
Yeah. Oh, I came out of the tube station today, and I went to buy a donut in a very well-known supermarket. And guess how much they cost nowadays?
I've no idea. Last donut was way too much, and I bought it in Harrods because people kept going on about these Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, I think this is the same. Well, I was back in Yorkshire. It's 6 for 99p. Great, but I went to this place, and it was like £1.10 for one.
Yeah, and they're not worth it, are they?
Absolutely not. And
No.
it's a big box for about £7. I mean,
Ridiculous.
Oh.
You could buy actual proper pastries for that.
yeah, I mean, I don't think the Waitrose they're charge that much.
Right, without mentioning any brand names. Waitrose, you say?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Thanks for the bad news. I missed it. 07, eh? Everyone should buy the 07 album. Everyone should buy the new album by Coop.
Yeah, I'm off to see Anthony Johnson's next Saturday.
Yeah. No, I think you're on your own there.
Oh, you don't fancy coming then?
No, I don't. No, got to be working that day.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
See you later.
Ta-da. There's no end of good things around at the moment. What are you listening to these days, Alex?
Sparkle Horse.
Sparkle Horse, right. God is an Astronaut. That's one thing I've been listening to lately, which is absolutely fantastic. What about you, Luce?
I missed the question, actually.
What are you listening to these days?
What, on the radio?
No,
You.
on your CDs. Do you buy music? Of course you don't. You're a girl. What an awful thing to say. I apologise.
I've stopped buying CDs because now
You're
we just
a
get it
girl.
off the iTunes. And I've now been making my own little playlist.
You buy music off iTunes?
Yeah,
There's
well-
much cheaper alternatives than iTunes, I can tell you.
But they're probably illegal, aren't they?
No.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, that's worth knowing. Can you
Would
share your
I
secrets?
kid you? Yeah. All right. I've subscribed to something called e-music.
Oh, is this the free one?
No.
Oh, there's going to be a new free one coming out, though, isn't there?
Free?
Yeah. And, they've worked out that they can do it completely free, and the way it works is that they have so many adverts on it as a site that it will pay for itself. Isn't that good?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, apparently it's going to launch in January. I'd seen it as a news story a while ago. But we'll see if it happens. But that's good. So e-music is cheaper than iTunes.
Oh, much, much cheaper, yeah. It's one of these subscription services, but the thing with e-music is, and it's... Have we done the ads yet?
No.
Okay, we better do that now and we'll come back.
The last Nick Abbott.
I'm very disappointed with myself because on this night of all nights, the Saturday that's nearest to Halloween, I didn't use this.
It's 12 o'clock.
Which fits better than at any other time during the year, and I missed it. Oh, no. Oh, well. Hey, Lucy's bringing in the newspapers. I bet most of them are filled with just... I bet it's pretty awful today, isn't it? Look at the size of that. Good grief, that's about a foot thick. Unbelievable. Right, I'll just sort them out. Hang on a minute. You can enjoy Liberace with my compliments. Well, the front pages aren't very happy, that's for sure. Everyone. And okay.
It looks like you're not in the room.
Physically, yes. Mentally, no. First of all, let's talk with Tallulah.
Hey,
Hey, you.
Mr. Radio Man.
That's me.
Yeah, you've been talking about the radio voices, and I thought it was pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. Well, women on the radio have to lower their voice. It's just the thing that they have to do. I mean, can you think of any women on the radio who have a really high-pitched, squeaky voice? There aren't any. Men the same. I mean, you have to... well, it helps that your voice goes through £1 million worth of, high technology, because ordinarily I don't sound like this.
You're normally talking in that really thick Scottish accent, aren't you?
That's right, yes.
High-pitched.
Yeah, no one can understand a word I say until I go through this huge machine here, yeah.
But you get the whole variety when it's RBC, because people out there haven't got a clue how to lower their voice. They just come on air naturally.
Oh, people on the, punters calling in?
Yeah, they're just like me. Hello, you.
See, now you have a very deep voice. You'd be perfect on the radio. All you'd have to do is iron out that accent, and you'd be a shoo-in.
Have you ever had Ian Lee doing the? Have you ever had Ian Lee doing the copy of Sheila? Sorry, Sheila from Cockfosters.
Who's Sheila from Cockfosters?
When Ian Lee does the copy of Sheila from Cockfosters, he says, "Hello, you." I have to laugh because it's so funny because I can't. She's got a very high voice, and she calls into Nick Ferrari all the time. When Ian copies her, it sounds so funny that it's.
Well, I don't know this one, but I'll have to listen out for her. Sheila from Cockfosters. Hey, call us in if you're listening, dear. We'd love to hear from you.
What do you think about Lynn from Forest Gate?
Who? I've got no idea. I don't listen to this show. You know, names just don't stick with me. Unfortunately for me, faces, yes, I can remember that, but they don't work on radio unless unless we'll start using video phones. I don't remember who anybody is.
Okay, then what's your favorite voice on the radio or TV?
My favourite voice on radio or TV? I've gone completely
What about the woman
blank.
who does the Marks and Spencer's advert? Do you like her voice?
No, awful. It's not just food. It's M&S food.
Oh, she makes me feel really hungry.
Painful.
Oh, I think it's so tempting when I hear her talking.
She makes me feel murderous. It's
Does
like,
she?
just calm down, dear. It's, it's just
Oh, what about him?
dinner.
Only a commercial. What's his name?
Michael Winner.
Michael
Yeah.
Winner.
What about his voice?
What?
That's sexy, isn't it?
Well, he makes me laugh. I mean, he's funny. You know the thing about Michael Winner? We've just got the Sunday papers in, and I bet you there's one person in the Sunday Times, which is what I happen to buy for my amusement, who doesn't go on holiday, which irritates me greatly that I pick up the Sunday Times. It costs, it's about £5.80 now these days, isn't it? And the two writers that I mostly buy it for, which is A.A. Gill and Jeremy Clarkson, more often than not, they seem to be on holiday, which I find is an outrage. I mean, it's only one column a week, or actually
They could fax it.
It's two. Yeah, but I mean, Jeremy Clarkson's driving cars all the time, and A.A. Gill is eating out all the time, and he's watching TV. How can he be on holiday? I'm stunned by that. And the one man who never takes a holiday is Michael Winner. Well, that's actually not true. He's always on holiday, but he never takes a holiday from his column. He always has the time and the good grace to send, which is just polite, don't you think? Because you get used to your columnists, like you get used to your talk show hosts.
Yeah. He did a great article the other week where, well, I don't know about great, but he did this article where he wore all his clothes back from the 60s and 70s and what he looked like then. It was very funny.
I can't imagine it was worse than what he looks like now.
Outrageous outfits. It's a very odd thing to do. And who keeps their clothes from 30 years ago?
Well, that's a good point, yeah. Who's got the room? He does, yeah. So what about you, Tallulah?
Yeah,
Tallulah? What about you? Who's your favourite voice?
Oh, my favourite voice. Oh, wowee.
Normally when people ask me a question, is what they really want to do is answer the question themselves, but I've caught you unawares.
Yeah, you did, but I think actually Ian Lee is a very, very good voice.
Yeah.
You've got a very good voice, and it is true that the lower bit is the better part. And I was told in the past that just relax and keep the lower voice, because if you're tense, automatically your voice goes high.
Goes up, yeah. How about this voice?
Yowza.
That's a good one.
That's
Groovy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a chap in America who there's a lot of great talk show hosts in America, but the one that people have mostly heard of is a chap called Howard Stern. And I think one of the reasons that he is so gigantically successful, he earns $100 million a year. Isn't that amazing?
Money where it belongs.
Nice work if you can get it. I think one of the reasons that his show is so hugely successful is that it sounds like music. If you detune from what he's saying, if you don't listen to the actual words and just hear it as a noise, it's because he turns the bass up so high on his microphone that it just comes out as a kind of just a kind of a burble like that. You can barely distinguish one word from the next because it's such a rumbling bass. And then they have the girl on the team who's a twittering counterpoint. I don't mean that in an unpleasant way, but, you know, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the bird twittering over this sort of earthquake rumble. And even if you're not listening to the show and breakfast time, it's difficult to sit down and listen for a long period of time because you're doing your breakfast, you're getting up and you're dressing and you're brushing your teeth, and it's often just on in the background as a noise. But I think what he does brilliantly, and it only occurred to me after a long while of listening to it, is that it's the sound of the show is like music, whether you're listening to what he's saying or not.
Being a musician, you have a spectrum of frequencies, and if you fill them in nicely, you have a perfect mix, and that's exactly what he did.
Right. That was a much better way of expressing it than I did. You did it with fewer words, and it wasn't even in your own language. Make me feel like a fool.
Okay, then why not?
Hey, did you go see Budgie this week?
Oh, I did, yeah.
And how were they?
Dead Man Don't Talk. I like that song a lot, and it was actually good. And I met a good few people that are in the business, and it was brilliant.
You went backstage?
Well, I met them on at soundcheck. Introduced them to my budgie, but they were a bit grumpy because I think it was the first date, so everything was a bit like a warm up and leave me alone, so to speak.
Yeah, you went up and said,
I want to show you something.
Yeah, I did.
you had your budgie in a clear plastic bag. Yeah.
Yes.
I bet they'd never seen anything like that before.
And he actually looks exactly like the cover of the last album.
Well, now, if you haven't been keeping up, Budgie are a band that used to be big in the 70s. Well, big is perhaps not quite the right word. I used to be around in the 70s.
Any song that I'd know?
No, I very much doubt it.
Oh.
None that I could even name off the top of my head.
Could Tallulah sing one?
Well, let's find out.
Dead man, don't talk.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more.
I didn't even feel it.
No, you stopped of your own accord.
Because I know what you're doing.
Way ahead of me, as usual, Tallulah. All right, well, listen, thanks a lot, and keep rocking, OK?
Okay, welcome.
All right, we're going to come back with the papers.
Come on, we're running late.
Right then, the Sunday Telegraph, first in, win a trip to Australia. Now, you see, they're ramping up the prizes. They're giving away the good stuff now. Not a DVD of what it might like to be, if you actually went to Australia, but to actually go there in person.
There's a downside, though.
Yeah, that's right. It's to see the cricket.
Boring!
No, not only that, though, but probably only one or a handful of people can go. Whereas with a DVD, everyone gets one.
Negative.
Next week they'll be giving away Australia.
Negative.
That's you, Luce.
Thanks.
Always picking holes. So that's a pretty much secret number 10 memo. Links Blair policy with terrorism. Oh, no. Tony Blair's claim that there is no link between Britain's foreign policy and terrorist attacks in this country is blown apart by a secret cabinet memo revealed today. Has any politician in his or her life ever told the truth? Can anybody think of anyone at all?
No.
A classified paper written by senior Downing Street officials says that everything Britain does overseas for the next decade must have the ultimate aim of reducing terror activity, especially that in or directed against the UK. And on and on. Usual stuff. We're doomed. The Observer.
Boring.
Climate change, Afghanistan. It's the wrong shape. There's just no getting around it. That paper is the wrong shape. Not
Is
a
it the food one? Is the food one this week? You know, I love the food Observer Food Monthly.
Observer Food Month. Wasn't that last week?
Was it? That's all I need to know. Then otherwise I won't buy it.
There doesn't seem to be anything that says food on it. No.
No.
I'm afraid not. It's the wrong shape. It's not either big enough or small enough. It's just like, what is it? There's just something that makes my skin crawl. It's creepy. It's just, it's not the right shape. Sunday Express, they're giving away a double CD of Jamie Cullum. That's really bizarre, because normally they give away CDs of music that doesn't sell anymore. You know, like a double CD of the greatest hits of the Righteous Brothers or the Temptations, or you know, something like that. Something that people kind of like, that they'd hear on one of the gold stations, but they would never actually go out and buy. And so in the back of their mind they think, oh yeah, I like that song, I'll go out and buy it, but they'd never actually play it, because there's only just so many Righteous Brothers or Temptation songs you want to hear, one after the other.
Yeah, maybe people are over Jamie Cullum.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think Jamie Cullum is the leading light of the new jazz movement, isn't he? I mean, jazz has got to have a success eventually, doesn't it?
I can't imagine you're a Jamie Cullum fan.
I have both of his albums.
Do you?
Yes.
That really surprises me.
I think he's I listen to jazz all the time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have thought you'd be a Jamie Cullum fan.
Well, fan is stretching it a bit.
Well, you've got 2 of his CDs. I think that's a fan.
I'm very disappointed.
I think he's actually very good.
Is he the big moon slaphead one?
No, he's not a slaphead. He's got no end of hair. He's like a walking... he's like something that Tom Jones coughed up.
He's got like a moon face there or something?
Yeah.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, like he's 10 years old.
That's right, he does look quite young.
The brightest young star in jazz, which is actually true. So the Sunday Express are giving away something that people would actually want.
You'll be taking that home, won't you?
No. Nuke secrets stolen. Stolen mine.
Oh, no.
The secrets of Britain's Trident nuclear deterrent were feared stolen last night. Now, there's something you'd think they'd want to keep under lock and key. They threw them out along with our bank details. Just chucked them on a skip. It's claimed they disappeared from a high-security base in the US. Oh, it's them what done it. CIA and FBI agents launched an inquiry after top-secret material was found under a mattress in a caravan.
What?
Near the base during a drugs raid. Oh, my, could it get any worse than that? Security services fear the material, which include details of Britain's Trident submarine launch missiles, as well as other nuclear weapons, under a pact negotiated and blah, blah, blah. Like I said before, we're doomed. The Mail on Sunday. They're bound to be upset about something. They always are. Free inside a DVD of a movie that no one has ever heard of, called Too Late the Hero.
No.
Anyone ever heard of that?
No! Who's in it?
Michael Caine, Henry Fonda and Cliff Robertson. That actually sounds like something that you would have heard of.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like the sort of thing that they put on Channel 4 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, for the people that pull up their chair and put the rug over their knees, waiting for that nice
Countdown.
Noel Edmonds to come along. Yeah. They've got nothing else to do, poor dears, other than watch the TV, waiting for their bag to become full.
Oh no! Did you have to say that? That's horrible.
And so they just watch whatever is put in front of them. And Too Late the Hero just sounds like one of those films. But it's been given away with the Mail on Sunday today. And is anyone going to rush out and buy it for that reason?
Nope.
Nope. Secret Green Tax Blitz. Oh no, better than that. Heather McCartney stole my boyfriend. Full report, pages 12 and 13.
When was this? 15 years ago?
Well, let's find out. I can't... Can you ever remember someone who has been getting it in the neck more... Apart from when David Beckham lashed out against that Argentinian, whose name neither I nor anyone else can remember right now, who tapped him lightly on the back of his leg.
Well, she's...
And then we wanted to string him up from lampposts. But since that happened, can you think of anybody that the British press have been gunning for more?
No, but she's greedy. And,
It's
you know...
our Mecca.
Yeah.
Everyone's greedy, Lucy. I mean, if
but
you're...
she's exceptionally greedy.
Everyone
With
is
a big G.
exceptionally greedy.
No, she is ridiculously greedy. Nobody needs that kind of money, and it's not her
Well,
money.
then neither
for
does
goodness
Paul
sake.
McCartney.
Oh, come on, it's his money, and he earned it, and also,
Well, I think
feel on
earned
that.
it is
Well,
stretching it a bit. Earned it.
well,
He wrote
he
a few
did.
catchy pop tunes, and then the whole world went out and bought them.
That doesn't make it
earned
Heather's, though,
is-
does it?
Well, no, but she's his wife. I mean, what about Tarrant?
What about
I
him?
know the woman that he was pictured in the papers with coming out of the Ivy.
Do you?
Because the Sun has said, this mystery blonde.
And you
if-
said, I know her.
Well, I took a look and I thought, hey, that's not...
Is that why you're wearing that special
it?
suit tonight?
But I know someone who's been in the papers.
Oh.
Yeah, but what about that then? I mean, is Ms. Tarrant due half of his money?
Yeah, well, she's been
Oh, I
married
see,
to him
there you
for...
go. Yes, you said. She didn't make any of that
How long
money.
has she been married to Chris?
I've got no idea.
I think it's about 11 years.
Well,
right.
that's-
How long has Heather been married to Macca?
A few years.
About 4 or 5.
Right.
Right. But Linda was married to Macca for years and years, and it was Linda and Paul's money, so it's not up to Heather to come sticking her nosy beak in and
But
taking
that's
it all.
the law. They didn't have a prenup.
Yeah.
Why they didn't
I know,
have
well,
a
that
prenup
was
just
idiotic,
seems...
but-
I just don't get that at all. I mean, who could have predicted that a 60-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman wouldn't have lived happily ever after? I mean, no one would have figured that out ahead of time, would they?
Even so. They should... I know they should have got a prenup.
She's not going to get half his money. She'll get... They'll settle before it goes to court. I absolutely
But
guarantee
why
it.
didn't she agree to the... Was it 30 million he offered her initially,
Well,
or
it
40
depends on
million?
what paper you read. I read that he hasn't offered her any, like a single penny yet.
Really? Well, okay, so how much would you settle for if it was you?
I'd settle for 50 million.
50 Oh, come on.
I
You
would
wouldn't
have
be that
sex with
greedy.
Paul McCartney for 50 million pounds. Yes,
Would you?
I would, definitely.
And then you divorce him straight away. That's so mean.
I'd divorce him for unreasonable behaviour, yeah.
Well, I don't think that anyone would... If you'd just been married to someone for a few years, you couldn't... Could you bring it to yourself to take more than
Yes.
kind of 10 million of their money? If they haven't really done you a great disservice, necessarily...
Paul's not going to miss 50, he's not going to miss 10. It'll make absolutely no difference to him whatsoever. What's he going to do with £1 billion that he's got in the bank now?
What's she going to do with 100 million?
I could spend 100 million in a weekend. Are you joking?
You could not.
Well, it would take longer than a weekend.
Yeah.
Couple of months. Well, you know, you'd have to scout around for a house. You could spend it on a house. Blimey, a flat in Chelsea would cost you £100 million these days. If you want more than two, absolutely, you want more than 2 bedrooms in Chelsea, it's £100 million.
I think 5 is enough. But if I'm being generous, she can have 10. And that's it.
Right.
That's enough, isn't it?
What does enough mean? I mean, you could go to Surrey and buy a nice house for £10 million with 24 acres. Just enough acreage in order...
For one person?
Just enough acreage in order that you won't be able to hear the noise that your neighbours are making. So it's nice and peaceful and quiet. I mean, it doesn't have to be a gigantic house. It just has to be peaceful. But to get peaceful around London... you're going to have to spend a gigantic amount of money. So it could be 10... You could fall in love with a £10 million house, and then you wouldn't have any money left to,
But that's just
to
idiotic.
keep it up,
She
to
can't
heat
have
it.
Well, then don't buy a £10 million house. Go and live a little bit further out of London. Buy a £5 million house and live off the other 5. That's plenty. Isn't it? Anyway, that's my rant over about Heather.
Joe Bradford was spending a relaxed afternoon on the sofa with her boyfriend Ben Amidjoni. It was a rented house, but they'd been happily living there while they saved for their own home. How far in does it get before it becomes lascivious? The couple had been living together for 2 years and shared dreams of marrying and having children together, but the quiet afternoon was shattered when Ben's mobile phone rang. The caller, to Joe's astonishment, was Sir Paul McCartney. Sitting next to Ben, Joe was able to hear every word. The former Beatle wanted to know just what Ben's car was doing parked in the drive outside the home of his estranged wife, Heather Mills, and on and on and on it goes. And you'll have to read the... you have to get the paper in order to read further. I'm going to stop there, because it all might be not true. Like, the son apologised The Sun apologised to somebody this week. They said, the Whip column, this is in the Sun today, the Whip column for the 29th of September proposed Labour MP Chris Bryant as the biggest hypocrite of the Labour conference for the contents of his diary as published in The Guardian. Did you see this? The diary was actually a spoof written by a journalist. We withdraw our suggestion that Mr. Bryant is a hypocrite and apologise to him, said The Sun. It's one of those seldom funny columns in The Guardian. You can't believe a word The Sun writes, can you? Here's the Sunday Times. Isn't it clean and... no, let's not go through that again. The NHS is to treat cats for cancer. Cats on the NHS. If you've got cancer as a human being, then please take a ticket and wait in a blue plastic seat.
And are they already treating dogs, does that mean?
A National Health Service hospital with debts of millions is to open its doors to cats and dogs for cancer treatment.
Well, I'm glad they're not leaving dogs out. Anyway, you can run a cat over, so why would you then have... No, but you can, and you don't have to...
You can't! You're not supposed to, Luce!
But you don't have to report it that you've run over a cat. But if you run over a dog, you can. So then how come you would get, cat's bills paid for by the NHS? It doesn't make sense.
I don't think you're making very many friends with this audience, talking like that about the nice little cats and dogs.
Pets, but you can see the logic doesn't make sense.
Hey Lucy, how many fish have you killed this week?
None.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
There's a story on the front page of the Sunday Times. I'll read around the names just in case. Some of Britain's top entertainers, footballers and businessmen were embroiled in a tax investigation amid allegations that they have exploited a charity donation scheme for personal profit. Celebrities including and have claimed six-figure sums in tax relief after donating shares of questionable value to charities. They're implying that they're totally crooked, but naming them. That's the strange thing, because normally stories like this come out and say, a source said that. Several top entertainers...
Which paper's that in?
This is the front page of the Sunday Times, so you don't even have to buy it. You don't even have to discover that A.A. Gill's on holiday and be disappointed like I was last week. How dare he? But it's right there on the front page. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is coming back.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love that.
Guess who's going to be in it? That's right. David Hasselhoff. The Hoff.
Oh, that is good.
That is good casting.
That is.
That is car crash television before it's even started.
Oh, I can't wait for the booze to be delivered already.
His wife said that he used to wet himself.
Oh, what for fun?
Just you. Oh,
I don't know.
No! Come on, Luce.
Oh dear.
No, she said that the booze got in the way and he actually lost control.
Some people do,
don't
they? Mm.
Baywatch star David Hasselhoff has trousered. Well, there you see.
Oh.
A whopping £300,000 pay packet to go on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. The beefy actor, 54, known as the Hoff, is getting more money than any previous star of the Australian jungle. TV bosses reckon he'll be great value in the wake of this divorce battle with Pamela Bach. Last week, court papers filed by his wife for 5 years revealed claims he once gave her a sex disease, got so drunk he wet himself and scared her with drink and drug-fueled rages.
Oh, he sounds the right treat.
I know. What a catch, eh?
Oh.
Has he not made enough money from that show? That show was the biggest TV programme in the world.
Maybe Heather could go in it as well.
Well, there is someone even better
cash?
than that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who else?
It's a female.
Okay, give us a clue.
It's a female.
No, more than that.
Once the bosses found out that Hasselhoff was available, they jumped at the chance to get him. The Hoff is one of those names everyone knows, and it would be great to see him back in his swimming shorts. Can you even wait loose?
Yeah.
That's a yes, yeah. But the water he'll be splashing round in won't be quite the same as on Baywatch. For a start, it'll be muddy and full of creepy crawlies. Someone is also being tempted with a £250,000 offer to head down under. Someone famous for her temper tantrums.
Naomi Campbell.
Naomi
Really?
Campbell.
Oh, that is great.
I might even start watching this programme myself.
You're gonna love it.
That's,
Any more?
Okay, hang on. She would be the most sensational signing ever on the ITV show with Naomi Campbell. Daily Star can also exclusively reveal Mylene Klass has signed a £100,000 deal to enter the jungle. Who's that?
Oh, she was in the first Pop Idol or whatever, and she was in Hearsay, and she's actually a classical pianist. But she then attempted a solo career, and nothing much really now.
Oh. So now she's going to go and eat worms for a living. Lovely.
Or worse.
Yeah, quite. So that's something to look forward to or not, depending on how base your taste in TV is.
When's it on?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Oh.
It leaves out the important information.
I would like to just go and watch that now when I get home. That would be great.
Here's one in the peephole. A sozzled squaddy let a civilian pal take a joyride in his tank and promptly flattened a parked car. As the amazing pictures in the peephole today show, the 24-ton Warrior tank climbed over a Vauxhall and crushed it into a mangled mass of metal. And the shocking security breach at the country's biggest army base was, guess what? That's right, captured on their mobile phone. They have got to stop doing this. Stop capturing your indiscretions on a mobile phone and posting them on YouTube.
Oh dear.
Some kid swiped someone's glasses in the street.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
And his mate videoed it on his phone and posted it on YouTube, and the police saw it and promptly arrested him.
Did you see the other awful picture this week of the pelican that ate the pigeon?
I saw the video of that.
Oh,
There's a
no,
video of that.
Oh, God, I couldn't watch that. It took ages, I gather.
The still picture is hilarious.
Yeah,
and,
with just...
and the press photographer, who was like a professional press photographer, who just happened to be there, must have been thanking his lucky stars, and probably to this day, that'll be the press photograph of the year. You know, these things happen every year. I bet it's one of the press photographs of the year, because it's just a brilliant shot.
The pigeon doesn't look that bothered.
Well, no, it doesn't. It looks a bit bemused, as though it's thinking, what the bleep is going on here?
Did you actually watch it, though, as it went on? Because I couldn't have... Didn't that make you feel sick?
Well, it's a bit disturbing.
Oh.
Yeah, there is a video on YouTube of that pelican trying and mostly failing to swallow the...
Oh, God.
And it's flapping its little wings, and
And it said it was kicking as well.
Yeah, kicking and flapping, and the little wings are coming out of its beak, and it's trying to swallow it down and not managing it, and then sort of shaking it about, and...
Can you not? Look, I can't even bear to hear it being described. It's so horrific.
Go and look it up when we get off the air.
I've seen it on the internet, but not seen the... I haven't only seen the picture.
The still picture. No, you need to see the moving video.
Oh, that's foul, isn't it?
But this is the beauty of mobile phones now. Nothing is private anymore. Nothing will ever be unseen by the general population, because everyone is a news reporter now.
Yeah.
Apart from you. You just make phone calls.
I know. I've got this this highly sophisticated device that I carry around with me, and the only thing I use it for is to send and receive phone calls.
Do you do texts?
No, not really. Well, it just takes too long. I mean, I just can't be bothered.
If you do predictive text.
Well, I do, but even that, I mean, you're typing with your thumb. For me, typing with two fingers is slow enough, but typing with a thumb, it's not something that I want to do. I mean, typing is so boring.
Oh, it's great when you can type. Because you don't look at the screen then, and it doesn't feel like a chore.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't matter how good you are, it's typing. Be honest.
I like it, but maybe that's just me.
But yeah. But people sit down and converse on a computer by typing. I mean, to me, that's not conversing. It's not fun. It's typing.
But the thing is if you can type as quickly as you speak, then it doesn't feel like a chore. Because if I was to handwrite, that would take me far longer than if I typed on a screen.
Right. Well, it's one of those things like playing the piano. I'd love to be able to, but I refuse to learn. I just
Why?
won't do it.
Why would you do that?
Well, because it would involve work. I've spent most of my life avoiding
But
work. I'm not going to
pleasurable
start now.
work. Pleasurable work that's relaxing and
shut
makes you feel
up.
good. And
Typing is relaxing.
And it's supposed to stimulate your brain cells as well, playing music, especially if you start children learning instruments from a young age.
Right. What kind of music? Would that stimulate your brain cells?
Hopefully not.
No. The squaddy from the 2nd Duke of Lancaster Regiment, who can be heard in the recording egging his mate on and laughing hysterically, could now face a court-martial over the boozy prank that turned to mayhem. Could face a court-martial. He lent his mate a tank. He crushed someone's car with it. And said, sorry about that.
I am very sorry that I screwed up. Totally I am so sorry. You just don't know how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
My 5 times a night chocolate sauce secret.
Oh no, who's that?
This is in the Observer. No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
The News of the World. Ashleen from Big Brother.
Dreadful.
Awful. Big Brother Beauty. Well, that's questionable right there. Big
she the
Brother
blondie
Beauty.
one?
Ashleen, whose all of whose areas you can see in full colour on page 3 of the Snooze of the World. All of her facilities are laid out for
Boobage.
your perusal. Exactly. Big Brother Beauty Ashleen is a real sweetie in bed, covered in chocolate. She's up for sex 5 times a night. What is it with these celebrities that they have? They're like robots. Who has sex 5 times a night? No one in
the
this.
journalists just say that to them. How many times a night would you? Come on. Right, we'll write that in.
I'm sure they don't even discuss it with her. They just make it up. Saucy love nests.
She looks like she'll do it 5 times. Great, put it down.
No one in this country is having sex at all. No one is. It's out of fashion. Everyone's conversing with each other by typing. That's as lascivious as it gets. But except unless you're a celebrity. As the BB Ghetto Princess relaxed in Maltese sunshine. Maltese. Oh, she's a Malteser. Covered in chocolate. She is the snack you can eat between meals without ruining your appetite.
5 times.
If a guy smears chocolate all over my naked body, I'm in heaven, giggled Ashleen, 27. There's nothing better than... Oh, I better not continue there.
No, I don't think so.
In the Super Soaraway News of the World, you'll get the rest of that. And finally, in the Sunday Mirror, Simon Cowell is preparing for a TV takeover next year with, count them, 3 new prime-time shows to run alongside X Factor. 4 shows. Oh. The TV mogul, 47, will announce the shows in the next few weeks, but in an exclusive Sunday Mirror interview, we revealed that one of them will be Britain's Got Talent, a homegrown version of the US hit America's Got Talent, which features, bizarrely, Piers Morgan.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
As a judge. Why him?
I don't know.
That is
Very
truly
odd.
bizarre. Talk about falling on your feet. There's a guy that got fired from, well, more jobs than I have.
Are they friends or something?
I've got no idea. But there he is, a star on a big hit American TV show. He must be earning, well, he must be earning all the money that Bill Gates doesn't have. Yeah. So that's one of them. Simon, now worth around £60 million, says we're going to announce 3 new shows for next year in Britain. I can't say any more because I haven't signed the contract yet, and I'm doing one of them to compete with another big brand, so I need to keep quiet about it. But I bet it's not smart. It won't be anything to do with history or art, that's for sure. Coming to a TV near you. Are you thrilled?
No.
50,000. Abbott.
Right, so what are we doing?
Sussex. Hello, Will.
Oh, blimey, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Been on hold for 38 minutes.
You must have a red-hot ear.
No, I've got it on speakerphone.
Ah, right. Well done, mate.
Oh, but I've been following you by going onto YouTube and watching that video.
Awful, isn't it?
And now that's, you know how it suggests other videos after you've watched.
Oh, yeah.
Watching one of a snake regurgitating a pig.
Oh, lovely. A snake regurgitating a pig?
Yeah.
I saw a really hideous picture of a snake that had tried to eat, I think it was a deer, something of that size. And it had half managed it, and then, and this is the awful part, Luce, you might want to cover your ears, the snake exploded.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad. Serves it right.
It actually ate something that was just a little bit too big and exploded. Isn't that awful?
Have you seen the piranha one on YouTube as well, where they attack the goldfish? That's horrible. And it takes ages. You know when you always are sort of given the impression that piranhas just go for it?
Yeah.
And then, but they don't. They sort of tease this poor little
Could strip
goldfish.
an elephant to the bone in 10 seconds
Yeah,
flat.
but they don't. They just munch a little bit off at a time.
Oh.
It's really nasty.
Hey, Nick.
Yes.
I don't like texting either, but in the States they've got something called PTT. Have you heard of that?
No.
You know how a walkie-talkie works, where you just literally pick it up, press the button to speak to someone, and they're there at the other end?
Yes.
They've got that basically integrated into all their mobile phones. So you just pick out someone out your address book, press the button and say, "Oh, you," and then they'll get a bleep on their phone and they can play that back. So it's
I heard about this, but I thought it was actual, like a walkie-talkie, where you're permanently connected.
I think, yeah, you could probably permanently connect once you know, press the button when the other person presses the button or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've never used it, but a friend of mine who moved to the States has said, how come you guys haven't got this yet? You're so behind the times.
Well, we really are.
Play your Yowza sound.
Yowza?
Yowza.
No, I'm afraid I don't have that to hand.
Yowza. There you go. Do you know what that's from?
Remind me.
Duckman.
Duckman?
Yeah.
Groovy. Is it?
I don't think Groovy is. But Yowza is.
Duckman. What's that?
It's a kind of animated American sort of spoof detective thing where there's a man that looks like a duck. Duckman.
Well, he would. That's why, hence the name, Duckman.
The guy
Yeah.
who's saying Yowza is a sort of anthropomorphic pig who is his sidekick who actually solves all the crimes, so you can get the picture.
Well, that sounds like, that sounds like a trip, like they used to say in the 60s.
It's a bit
Weird.
far out.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Music.
Yes.
Have you heard of Ulrich Schnaus?
Ulrich Schnaus?
Yep. Obviously not.
No.
Check some of his stuff out. I mean, if you like 07 and some sort of laid-back, chill-out stuff, but I much prefer Ulrich Schnaus to other ones of that sort of genre. But
Ulrich Schnaus, that sounds like the medical condition that Kate Moss has got right now. Did you see her nose lately? I think she's got an Ulrich Schnaus.
A friend of mine sort of knows Kate Moss.
Sort of?
Sort of. Friend of a friend sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've got a pet peeve I wish to share with the world.
What, is this about Kate Moss?
No.
Oh, well, I thought we were going to get a tale about Kate Moss.
Oh, I don't know much about her. I mean...
Well, let's go over what we know. She's got a face like a pizza. She hangs out with a podgy, like pasty-faced, out-of-it drug addict that no one can believe is still alive.
I thought she was looking okay on the advert that she does.
Well, advert, yeah, she's been airbrushed to within an inch of her life. She's got both eyes looking in different directions. She's the weirdest-looking woman you've ever seen in the whole wide world.
You know, there's a few people around with eyes that don't, like their tracking needs adjusting. You know? I quite like that, because firstly, you kind of, normally if you have a conversation with someone, you never quite know which eye to look into, and you keep changing over, right? And if you've got someone who's only got one main eye that's concentrated on you, you can just, it's easier, I find, to have a conversation and look at that person. And I quite like people who've got little flaws. It just makes them more interesting to look at.
I suppose so. Well, you'd love me then.
My pet peeve, quickly,
yes,
is the people who add unnecessary words on the end of sentences, like at all. I went into a shop and he says, the guy on the cashier says, have you got a nectar card at all? I was like, have I got a nectar card at all? Well, how much of one do you need?
Never go to Scotland, because they're almost everybody in Scotland says ends their sentence with "by the way."
Yeah.
By the way. See you, by the way.
That sounds good.
It's completely meaningless, but I kind of like it.
I used to know someone who ended every sentence with the word "look."
Look?
Look, yeah. It's like, I'm just going to go and do some shopping, look.
Well, that's just properly weird. not even the Welsh "look you."
And we used to call him Graham Look. Everyone knew him as Graham Look because his name was Graham, obviously.
And he said, "Look."
But it's like, so are you going to get married at all? Well, either you are or you aren't.
Well, this guy said that in the garage. That was a bit presumptuous. By the way.
But, no, that's just I've noticed people tacking on that to the end of things that don't require it.
Right.
Like,
Pet
so now I
peeves.
answer. They say, so have you got a nectar card at all? I'll go, like there are degrees to owning a nectar card.
Yes. You either have or haven't.
Yeah.
You've either joined the modern society or not. Yeah.
Also, while I'm on, since it took me 38 minutes,
You're not complaining, but...
ask your listeners if anyone had ever had a battle with the DVLA over this thing they've introduced called Thorn.
Sawn?
Thorn. They fined me for forgetting to fill out that I thorned my car. And I said, I'm not paying that. And I said, yeah, you are. I said, well, take me to court if you want me to pay that. I'm not paying that. That's ridiculous. So they went, okay.
They don't care. It's not their money.
Yeah, so Tuesday...
What's sawn?
It's statutory off-road notification.
Right, so you haven't got a tax disc because it's off-road.
Yeah, so, but now, previously, before 1998, when they invented this scheme, they, if you didn't tax your car, they just assumed you weren't driving your car. Fair enough.
Right.
If you get caught, you get caught. But now, if you haven't got your car taxed, they assume you are driving it around and trying to avoid paying.
Guilty until proven innocent.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the British way.
And the thing that annoys me about it is if you remember to tell them that you've thorned your car, you can even do it online. They take the trouble to send you a letter and say, thank you for thorning your car, you're now good for a year, sort of thing. But if you forget to do it, they don't send you a letter to say, oh, by the way, can you do this, otherwise we'll fine you. They just go, ha ha ha, another one's forgotten.
Yes.
And they send it. So I was wondering if anyone who's listening has been to court over one of these, and hopefully they could...
how it went. Yeah, all right. Okay, well, you always get one phone call when you've been arrested. Make it to us, all right?
Oh, I will do.
I won't visit you in prison, but I will be thinking of you.
Well, can you make sure you've got a show on Tuesday, then?
Yeah, all right. Ta-da.
Bye.
Let's have Bracknell. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Nick. How are you tonight?
I'm all right. Do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves? I don't have any pets. How can I be peeved at?
Okay.
I heard you fill in for Ian the other day.
Yes.
And you didn't have the lovely Lucy with you.
No, Lucy was absent without leave. Where were you, Luce? Oops.
She's absent without leave now, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
I was actually quite busy.
Busy, were you? Mm-hmm.
I was preparing the psychic show.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. Isn't that strange?
Does the psychic show have to be prepared? I mean, don't they know everything in advance?
How many times do I get this joke?
Not enough, apparently.
Yeah.
I
We were doing a Halloween special, that's why.
Of course, yeah.
Halloween is my mother's birthday.
What does that tell you?
Well, when I was a little kid, she used to tell me she was a witch because she was born on Halloween.
Nice. And it's and you've grown up to be the man that we hear before us.
Living 3,500 miles away from her now.
And there's no coincidence there, I bet.
None whatsoever.
So what's up, Joseph?
Well, it's you were talking earlier about the Marks and Spencer's ad, or Lucy was. About
it's not just food. It's
at first I liked it, but I'm getting sick of it now.
Mm.
It seems like her descriptions are getting longer and longer, and I'm getting less and less turned on by hearing it.
It just makes me feel, Aishleen's chocolate-covered body notwithstanding, sex and food doesn't go together for me. I mean, it's either one or the other, not together,
Yeah, but you said no one has sex 5 times a night.
No one has sex in this country at all. See, you're American, you wouldn't know. No one in this country is having sex at all.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, yes. The Office for National Statistics has just released a survey which states exactly that. A breakdown of statistics puts men and women between the ages of 16 and 19, 40% had no sex at all last year.
Well, that means that 60% did.
Fortunately, it's the Americans that are populating the world. Thanks for trying. All right. Listen, Joseph, I've got to go, but cheers, mate. All right.
Okay.
Ta-da. Let's have Cheem, Poshest Cheem. Hello, Sue.
Hiya, Nick.
Sue.
I'm just phoning to thank you for sticking up for Heather Mills-McCartney.
I just can't believe that she's getting so much stick from everyone. Even Lucy's weighing in.
I know, I was a bit disappointed with Lucy, but I have to say, I mean, to hear somebody at last on the radio, or anywhere for that matter, stick up for her, it was wonderful, because all in the press, on LBC, I hear so often people saying such unkind things about her, and I just think, well, all right, she's had a colourful past, but the first thing she did when she got together with Paul was try to do some good, especially for those, the poor creatures who are being flailed alive, to provide fancy furs for stupid women to stick on their backs. And I think, she deserves a pat on the back for that, if nothing else.
Yeah, I bet she's had to sit through some of those Wings albums as well.
God forbid. I even started to like Paul McCartney when he was married to her, because I thought she was getting him to do something useful with all that money that's just sitting away in the bank, making more millions.
Seriously, no one has even mentioned this. What is Paul McCartney going to do with all that money? I mean, why don't you join George Soros and start giving some of it away, Paul? Like, 500 million would be a good start, for instance.
I agree completely. I mean, what's the good of all that money if it's just going to be... He's going to be the richest man in the graveyard, and, well, that's all right if that's what he wants, but at the same time he could be doing a lot of good with that money. It just seems a waste.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much, and if ever I get a chance to see I went to see Linda McCartney, then Heather Mills-McCartney, I will give her a pat on the back for all the good work she's doing. She's doing, Mine? She's trying to highlight the problem of young people and where people in general getting their limbs blown off in minefields. I mean, that's wonderful what she's doing.
If you do go and give her a pat on the back, don't feel disappointed if her minders scurry you away, because anybody that rushes up to her with their arms outstretched, they would assume the worst,
I'll probably end up on my back.
Yeah, probably end up shot, Sue.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, the best of luck, all right?
Thank you, and you.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Commuters driving to work were greeted by a message when they entered Crawley in West Sussex on the car parking signs to tell you whether there are any car parking spaces left. It said, did you see this? It said in bright orange capital letters, F 3 stars off.
On FM